steward right now. But
Yeah.
I mean,
I as soon as I turn 20, as soon as I'm able to get a concealed carry permit, I'm getting one and I'm carrying a gun everywhere just because you never know what fucking idiot out there just got a gun on the internet with no background check. Because chat, what you need to realize is whenever if we did gun control to the full extent that Europe does, then the only people with guns would be the people that could just get guns
The reason why it
no
works so
problem.
well, the reason why gun control works so well in Europe compared to like if we were to do it here, is because Europe's had those gun laws for as long as we fucking know. So no one's ever had access, but everyone has guns now. So even if we did implement gun laws, there's so many guns in the US that would be so hard. It would be almost nearly impossible to still like fully implement the law compared to Europe when it's compared to like Europe where they never had access to guns to begin with. So
Yeah,
it's easy to regulate guns in a place that they've never had that access to compared to something that it's so widely like culturally accepted to just end, you know?
yeah. And you know what's
Like
crazy?
I'm all for ending gun violence, but the reason why I don't agree like don't think that would work per se is because so many people have so many people have
Oh
one. I
yeah.
just don't see it working out.
I
it's
know at
also
least
how
more
It would
easy
be
it
people
is
with
to
an
extreme. It
grab
would
them
be
unregistered
too.
extremely.
firearm.
It would be extremely hard to implement those laws.
Yeah. And you know what's even more fucked up about the gun laws? If I wanted to buy a gun and I currently have my medical card, if I even slightly mention that I have a medical card or they see my medical card in my wallet, they can immediately deny me access to a firearm. But as soon as some mental guy off the street comes in and just shows his ID, he's completely fine to get a gun as long as he hasn't had a criminal record that is super outstanding, you know? But as soon as they see my medical marijuana card, I immediately can be denied a firearm. And also, like you said, the guns in Europe, because I'm gonna be honest, everyone here in this state, in the United States, there's probably about 40% with legal firearms, and then there's probably another 40% with unregistered firearms, and then there's another 10% with 3D printed guns. So you couldn't legalize it or make it illegal if you wanted to, because it'd be so hard to get rid of them.
One thing I would say though is that like I feel like if you're in the military under 21 and like obviously to be in the military you have to pass a psych test. I feel like that should grant you like abilities to own like pistols, being able to
Yeah, because you've gone through basic
conceal
gun
carry.
training.
Yeah, you've been trained. Like for me, I'm trained in to use all sorts of weapons. I've shot three variations of rocket launchers, right? So
Yeah,
I've shot the javelin. I've shot the fuck, I forgot what it's called. There's another one I shot.
you should at least be
Grenade
able to
launchers.
open carry.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm trusted to shoot a 50 cal machine gun, a 240 Lima, a fucking
Yeah,
uh
if
M249, let alone throw grenades and handle
yeah,
explosives, I should be able to conceal a little tiny, 9 mil pistol.
oh, absolutely. Chat. Here's the way I see it. If I am trusting in an 18-year-old to defend my country, hold firearm, and protect us, then he should absolutely, or she, be able to carry a firearm in public, because I would trust them to operate honestly, okay, the way I see it, we should either lower some things back down to 18 or we should up some things to 21. We shouldn't have
Another
both sides of the spectrum 18, 21. If you ask me, honestly,
another
the
thing
driving age should also be 18. I'm gonna be honest.
another thing I'd also like to mention is the fact that you can be trusted. So in the military, you can join at 17 and do split training, right?
Yeah.
If you're trusted enough to be like 18 years old, being able to go to the military, how come you're not trusted enough to be a cop? You have to be 21 to be a police officer.
Yeah, that's another thing I don't understand.
So if the
I
government wants you to have full access to, C-17 Globemasters, C5s, um, fucking Bradleys, you know, M4A1s, M249s,
yeah.
249s, not 249s, 240s, 320s. Like, I'm trusted with a fucking 320. Do I know how to shoot it? Yeah. Did I give one course on it? Hell yeah. I can fucking shoot it. If I'm able to do all that, how come I can't be a police officer until I'm 21 though?
You know what I
That
think,
doesn't make
chat?
any sense.
I think that this is what we need, okay? Because we got the new American citizenship law. I think in order to be an American citizen, you should have to pass a basic handgun or rifle training course because it is a constitutional amendment that we can own a firearm, yet you don't have to go through basic training to own that firearm. So I feel like if we made it a legal requirement for the citizenship, because you already have to pass a test to be a citizen now, anyways, you don't have to be born here anymore. It should be a basic thing on that citizenship test to teach the people how to use a firearm because that Second Amendment is already in place. And in order to get a firearm, you don't have to go through basic training, you know?
Just I don't know if you knew this, but you can also like people that aren't citizens, like say their parents came here and they're young, they came with them, whatever the case might be. People can gain citizenship through the military, which I personally think is a
Really?
respectable thing.
Yeah, that's respectable. Oh wait, no, I
What's
do
also
know
like
that. I've seen
what's
that
also
a
like
couple
really
times.
weird
Yeah.
is that even our territories are allowed to join. Like Costa Rica, for example. So you can, if you're born in Costa Rica, you haven't stepped foot in the United States, you're able to join the military and then also like serve. You can represent the United States military in Costa Rica.
Yeah.
That's another thing you can
Yeah.
do,
So
which I
the
find
citizenship
absolutely
thing with the
weird.
military. So how like the citizenship thing works in the military? So you go to base training all that, but while you're base training, if it's called the naturalization program. While you're in basic training, you study other stuff besides like a little bit more than the normal like trainees that have already citizenships. Like they're already a
Yeah.
citizen. You had to like because I had some people in basic training that I went basic training with. They were naturalization. There were like three of them, and they were studying like Americans like a test like a citizen. They're studying for a citizenship test, and that fifth week of training where we take all of our PCs and stuff, they take the citizenship test. So basically, is when you graduate basic training, you become a U.S. citizen also along with being in the military as well.
I mean, I can support that 100%. I mean, if you fight for our country, I think that you should be a citizen of our country, honestly.
Yeah, oh yeah, like 100%.
But did y'all ever serve with an inmate or a prisoner?
No.
Yeah.
Because I've seen that a couple times where a prisoner
Well,
and inmate can
foreign.
get their sentence reduced if they serve in the military.
It depends. So
It
at
does
least for
depend. You are
Army,
right.
as long as you do not have a felony charge,
Yeah.
and also, if you're convicted of a crime, you are able to serve the military before you are actually sentenced to any prison time.
Yeah.
So
Which
me and
Certain
Connor have a
jobs
I
buddy.
think is also pretty good, honestly.
certain jobs have uh lower and higher level security clearances, and if you had that background of being like in prison or whatever, you're not authorized to like ever work like jobs with certain security clearances.
So like
Yeah.
in the military, I don't know about like Air Force in general or just the military in general, but like for Army or like Marines and as well, if you do have a background of criminal history, you're limited to certain MOSs, such as you can't have any high clearance like what I was saying earlier. But what you also can't do is have the Gaio.
The guy in the hallway super low, by the way, like 2 HP to smoke. But what were you saying?
You're limited to your MOS. I don't know what I was trying to say. Like your security clearance. Like if you have a criminal history, there are certain MOSs you're not allowed to have, no matter what your ASVAB scores that you test out or your psych test. So for the Marines, you can't
Smoke's
choose
really low.
anything that's like super high up. For the Army, you can't choose PSYOPs, which is I believe that's
Yeah.
37 Foxtrot or 34 Foxtrot. Can't
Back
choose
when he
that.
went to I was gone. No, not really.
Infantry is good.
Wait,
I
just
had a
a quick
buddy.
question. Can
What was that? I'm sorry.
Does your chat just hear you, or just hear us as well?
Oh no, I can hear all of us.
Okay. So if anyone in the chat, if y'all are interested in joining, whatever branch it may be, if that's something you're interested in, obviously yes, talk to your recruiter. But if you have the resources and you're available, don't just talk to your recruiter. If you have the resources, like someone that's in service or whatever, or especially in the branch that you're wanting to serve, talk to someone that's in the service currently as well, because
Oh,
they'll
yeah.
give you a more real down to earth insight and things to know than a
And
recruiter.
definitely do not ever zero in on one MOS. That's also another thing because you're either A, not going to get it, or B, you didn't do enough research on it. And then you're
Yeah.
stuck the rest of your contract, which is between 3 to 8 years. I have an 8-year contract with the infantry.
My uncle
So
originally wanted to go in for Army, but then he switched over to Air Force. So
the Air
don't
Force
just
does,
focus on one.
yeah, definitely don't focus on unless there's something you genuinely want to do. Like I wanted to go full gun ho, and I was gonna go Air Force and go special warfare, but my recruiter told me that in the Air Force you won't have a likely chance of picking the right MOS you want, let alone promoting as fast versus
Yeah,
the Army
it's pretty
where you have
strict.
full access to any MOS as long as you score with the right score.
A lot of people don't realize how strict the Air Force is, even though it's often joked as the nicest branch. There's a lot of
It's the
restrictions to the
super
Air Force.
that like basic training. Um, Even though I'm the Air Force, um, I'm I'm going to admit the fact that it's the easiest basic training on the. It's not the easiest basic training as a whole, but physical aspect, yes, it is. Basic training physically was not that hard, but like basic training for the Air Force has a lot of attention to detail things. Like, say, like the area you stay in, you have PCs and tests to pass basic based off how certain very strict guidelines on like your living area. There's a PC on like making your living area and being very
Oh
attentive to
yeah.
detail at your living area and your living space and all
My
that.
uncle had two PCs through the Air Force and monitors and iPads and all that
And if
sorts
you're
of
wondering
stuff.
what PC means, it just means progress check. Um,
Oh, I
there's
thought you meant
there's like
computer.
12 progress checks to pass Air Force basic training, and just it's called RLA. It's called Recruit Living Area, and that's what it stands for. It's just very critique down to detail, and there's things called demerits. you can't have so many demerits in your area when you get inspected. When your area gets inspected, to pass pretty much. And there's this every PC you have besides like obviously the PT test, the physical training test. Um, is most of them is detail. You do shoot guns. You go to a gun range to you have to qualify on a gun, but it's not near as strict as like infantry stuff because that's not our thing. But you have to be trained on how to use a weapon. It's very easy. The standard's not near as high, but everything in the Air Force is very attention to detail. It's easy to fail if you're not really like focusing and you're not really locked in
Oh yeah.
focusing in a lot.
Another thing I'd like to put a little tidbit in is that if you are like looking at joining, if you're wanting something that is, how do I put it? If you want something that's gonna like genuinely like help you out in the future for a long run, do not choose Marines and do not choose Army.
I
Those
think that's
two will
everybody knows
not,
that.
if you're looking at it for a career and you do not care how you get a living, go Army or go Marines. If you go
Yeah.
Army, do not do National Guard unless you already
Yeah,
have
let's see if
that career.
I don't know if they are, but obviously I can't see your chat. But if your chat's like asking any questions or anything, feel free to tell them that they could ask any questions and me or like Gunner over here could answer. If they have any like genuine like they're like thinking about joining or anything, like actual like questions that like
I'll definitely let
unbiased
you know.
questions. Like I'll answer it unbiasedly because the recruiter obviously will not because they're trying to get you in because it benefits them. But
A recruiter
Yeah.
will only get you to talk
I
nice
will
because they need a fucking quota
I
by the
will
end of the
answer a question an unbiased question unbiased view because I believe it's not for everybody and I don't want someone to to join and get screwed over because if you join because you're on a contract and if you join and it's not what you expected not what you wanted now you're going to be now you're going to be miserable
Oh
for
yeah,
6
absolutely.
years
and
because
definitely like
if you hate it now you're going to be miserable for 6 years but if anyone has any like genuine questions I'll give you like a down to earth answer if I know how to answer it personally.
also like when picking a branch, you also have to put it in like consideration like your branches do matter because of their duty stations. Like if you don't want to like be away from home, do not go like Navy at all because
Air
all
Force is a good one to stay close to home.
Air Force
I'm
is
not
really
gonna
good
lie.
because you have a
Depends
lot
on
of
what your
bases
job
around the
is.
states. Yeah,
Once you
it
get
does
into
vary.
higher ranks,
If you get security forces, your base opportunities are pretty much every base in the world, wherever a base is, so you can really get put anywhere. So it
yeah.
really does depend on your job.
My uncle got paid to travel when he was in the Air Force because he would just be like, "All right, well, I gotta go over here," and he would like just. I mean, my uncle got to travel all over the world and then also stay at home whenever he needed to in the Air Force. Granted, I don't know what he was serving under. I need to ask him, but I know that he was a lieutenant colonel. I don't know how long he was a lieutenant colonel for and how long he's been able to travel wherever he wanted, but it seems the Air Force is the most cushiony but has the most restriction. Navy seems pretty heavy on the physical training, and Army and military seem to have the most action. Or not Army and military,
Definitely
Army and Marine.
a lot of like misconception is um the Navy and the Air Force have the most strictest how you keep your living space set up.
Oh yeah.
Meaning in the Navy you have to have a ruler in your locker or in your like vicinity to make sure everything's set up right.
I
And
made
Air
my
Force
bed with a clipboard in basic training.
for the
My
Army, we didn't do shit. They literally told that drill and ceremony and customaries do not kill the
because
enemy.
for the Air Force
I
attention to detail, it ingrains in your brain like
oh yeah,
a sense of like it seems dumb, but it ingrains in your mind like a sense of attention to detail because if you don't have that attention to detail mindset, you could and your actions could result in somebody losing their life over something that you could have avoided if you were to pay attention a little bit.
oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Like
no, like for infantry, that's a major thing. So like if you're in the woods and you think you saw something like moving in the trees, whether it's like the wind blowing a leaf or not, if you see it, you say something because it might have not been a leaf. It might have been like the
yeah,
enemy, like crouched down. You have no
got
idea.
to.
We have a thing what's called so oh not seals, sills. Sills is essentially you stop, you look, and you listen, and it's supposed to take like 30 seconds to a minute. And you do that because you never know. Like you'd be walking around and your steps in the woods make so much noise, it can cover up um the operatives and you'll never know.
Oh, I made that boy rage quit. But you were saying attention to detail earlier. Like my uncle, he whenever I was living with him and helping him take care of my grandparents, whenever they got ill, he would like notice every speck on the floor that I left. And one thing I also noticed is he would make his bed every day, despite the fact he wasn't still, on deployment or whatever. Like every day his bed was made, and he would also make my bed whenever I wasn't in the room, just because it
Yeah,
was
I
just
make my
it
bed
bugged
every
him.
day.
Bob
Yeah, I make my
Ross
bed
was on
every day.
drill destruct was a drill instructor before painting. Is that real?
Did not know that if that's real.
What?
That's what someone in my
Uh,
chat said. Bob Ross was a drill instructor before painting.
Why does this guy run towards the Flash?
Yeah, chat. If you're curious about any of the factions of the military, or if you're curious about any questions about any factions, or if you want to currently deploy or enlist in the military, there should be links in the description down below for this one. GoArmy.com. I don't know what the Navy one is, but I'm sure my editor will put it in the description. We always have the Air Force, um, U.S. Air Force website in the background of my videos, so that one's always on display. I can't see it right now because it's over on another shelf, but I support the Air Force a lot, and I really support the Army and the military a lot. Honestly, every branch, you really cannot disrespect a branch.
Oh, one other deal that is also a misconception. Active duty army does not deploy as much as National Guard.
Gonna
That's not
piggyback
that's
on that
another
same thing
thing.
with the Air Force because Air Force, the only branches that have National Guard, like where you like go back to your home station in your state and you do like drill and stuff for your state specifically is the Air Force and the Army. Every other
Yeah,
branch has like every branch has like reserves where you go to drill on a weekend, but it's kind of like a mix between active duty and guard because the reserves you go wherever they want you to, like wherever across the country, across the state, but you do like National Guard things. Like you'll say you go to like say they make you go to like um say like the state I'm in, Washington, but I'm reserved. I go to Washington, but I still go. I still do the 1 week in the month, and I do like the 2 week annual training. So it's like guard, but you go where, but you don't stay at home. Pretty much, you still have to leave home. Unlike the guard, if leaving home is something that's not really interesting to you, you just want to
yeah,
stay guard. It's called the air guard, or Air National Guard, if you want to call it that, but most people call it the Air Guard. But yeah, Army and Air Force are the ones that have the National Guard. Don't
And
know
also,
why.
Chad. Sorry, go ahead.
Don't know why, but I think the reason might be is just because the Air Force used to be a part of the Army, but like that was back in the 40s. But Air Force used to be like a extension of the Army until they made their own branch. So that might be
Yeah.
the case, but yeah, but those are the only two branches that have the National Guard. If that's something that interests you, if you want to go National Guard, either do Army or Air Force.
And like if you go guard like an Air Force or an Army, so why I said that you can like deploy like more is because it's strictly volunteer. So like my unit, we deploy every 2 years. So we just got back from Africa, and then in 2028 we're going to Iran. And so, but between that, you can hop on back to back to back. You can do stateside assistance deployments. So there's an issue in Washington D.C. You can go volunteer. The riots in California. You can volunteer that. I was in Louisiana, so I couldn't. I mean, I wouldn't have gone anywhere, but I had the opportunity to do that. Another thing is you can, if you're a type of person that like just wants to get out of the United States and travel and like see the world, you can honestly hop on any deployments in the United States, combative or not combat deployment. You can do training
Yeah.
events in Europe. You can travel Germany, Ireland,
You can
Scotland,
volunteer for deployment.
England.
Sometimes you have to go on deployment, but there's deployment opportunities that you can take even if you don't have to. You can take deployment options because if you voluntarily take deployment options, it looks really good on you as well. Another thing I wanted to mention about like the questions, because Gunner, he's National Guard, Army National Guard. He can probably answer more questions about. He can. He can obviously answer more questions about National Guard. I'm active duty, so this is my everyday thing every single day. But every single day, this is what I do. So obviously, that's why I'm halfway across the country from home. But yeah, I'm active duty, so I can answer more questions about like active duty. I mean, until Gunner goes active. But I'll be right back.
Okay.
Another like big thing is with National Guard, you really gotta like hit if you don't want to go active and you're just doing it for school, you already have a like future career in mind. Don't choose a stupid fucking MOS that has nothing to do with your actual career. It's
Oh
fucking
yeah,
retarded if you
absolutely.
do that in the first place. Like if you have a construction job, like if you work in HVAC, Army has a fucking HVAC MOS. If you're doing construction, we have a. If you're doing, if you want to do police work, we have military MP. You can do it's 31 Bravo. You're gonna be there
Yeah,
for 16 weeks out in Missouri.
there's
It's
been
not.
times.
It's not
Sorry.
hard to choose an MOS as long as if you get a 60 or higher in the Army, you have the option to choose any fucking job in the military. Or no, not 60, a 50 and higher. I scored a 52 on my ASVAB, but because my dumbass wanted to be a fucking HUA, because I chose. Do I regret it? Fuck no. Has it taught me lot of good lessons? Hell yeah. Has it taught me lot of good lessons? Hell
Yeah.
yeah. Definitely choose an MOS if you don't want to go active and you want to just like. Oh, another thing, a little bit side tip that I forgot. Army has a thing that's called Army Ignite, or it offers full paid for schools for anything you can do. You can get your piloting license, so you can be a commercial pilot for medevacs for hospitals or like news, whatever news station you have out there. You literally just be a pilot and work for paid hella bank from it. Plumbing, electric, anything like blue collar or like nursing, you can get paid for like on the spot just by just signing up. It's another thing that like just Army does in general. It's just, especially if you go National Guard, you have like lot more benefits than active duty Army. But active duty Army has a lot more opportunities to get off the spot, which is extremely helpful. But if you just want to go like fucking kill some fucking sand guy out in fucking Iraq or Iran, or go to fucking, I don't know, where the fuck you want to go, just kill people. Fucking just go National Guard and just hop on missions, stack up a fucking kill streak, fucking call in airstrikes, be an RTO, fucking do whatever the fuck you want, and then retire after 4 years. And you went
Yeah.
on fucking, you've probably went on like 3 deployments, 12 missions. You have a fucking CIB, EIB. You have your air assault badge. Do all the schools you want to do. RTLI, air, Arctic, jungle, fucking mountain school. You can go all over fucking places and you get paid so much fucking money. Do fucking 4 years. Get the fuck out. You're a war hero. You're gonna be pod campaign.
Which I would like to state something for anyone thinking that it's easy to be active deployment in a situation such as Iraq or a situation with the Taliban. I need you to realize other countries, they're dedicated to their cause. So it's not easy to be a Marine or in the Army or in any active deployment situation for that matter. Because a lot of countries are dedicated to their cause. I mean, you've got people in flip flops and fucking robes out there with AK-47s that barely know how to fire an RPG, and they're still trying to fight our military, which has billions and billions of dollars in funding. So you got to realize it's not easy to be on the Marine or military or any side, or even police for that fucking matter, because anyone against our active deployment soldiers or police force has a dedicated cause.
Another little tidbit about deployments is that if you are in a combat MOS or not, if it, just for the sake of the argument, if you are in a combat MOS, you're not gonna be out on patrols or setting up a fucking ORP or anything the entire time. Most of the time,
Explain
you're
what
gonna
an
be
ORP is for my chat.
Okay, so ORP is an objective rally point, or you can also say like a patrol base. So basically, you're think of it kind of like Siege. So in Siege, you have an objective. Objective is to defend the bombs.
Yeah.
Pretend the room that you're in, that's your patrol base. And how you set
Okay.
up by reinforcing walls, setting up traps, that's the same thing as a patrol base. You're looking for, basically, you're trying to just survive in that one spot and do as much as you can to hold secure. So basically, you're not going to be out there going on, you're not going to be sitting out there fucking out in the boondocks waiting for some fucking pajama to come out of nowhere, or some fucking kids strapped with a bomb with their dog has a bomb. You're not going to be seeing that 24/7. Majority of the time, you're going to be out in the chow fucking eating steak and lobster, chatting up with the old Asian lady, and fucking in your bedroom, jacking off, playing Call of Duty. And then you'll get called up to go out there. And you're going to be out there for 8 hours or 72 to 48 hours, just basically sitting on security in different platoon, different company. You're not going to be out there 24/7. When you are out there, it is life or death, depending on where you're at. But always have the mindset that someone has eyes on you, and that you are gonna die, and have like full trust in like your comrades next to you. The majority of the time, you're not gonna be seen out there just fucking messing around with rock throwers. Like that's not you're not gonna do that 24/7.
Let me point out another. I think it's something that really steers people away as well. Because they see video like movies, like whatever it is. I don't. If Full Metal Jacket, if people's in the chat seen that movie, just any movie that has like a basic training scenario. Yeah, basic training sucks. Yeah, there's a lot of yelling. There's yelling at you every day, hollering, getting up early to loud noises. Basic training sucks, but it's you gotta think, you gotta remember, basic training is a very temporary and short. It's such a short period in your career. Um, and people, what I was gonna get to, another misconception is people think that the military constantly is people like up your ass all the time, screaming and hollering. That is not
Oh
what
yeah,
it's like at
misconception.
all. Not what it's like at all. Like I go to work every day in my hangar, and it's just like having normal coworkers
Oh yeah.
doing a job together. I
Half
mean,
the
I don't know
time,
if
like
that's like a stereotype that's still like super like well known, that people are always hollering and stuff like that. But it's definitely something that's like a stereotype that's not true at all.
I just want to make that like clear as well.
and also like to piggyback off that, like basic training for me versus basic training for Connor was completely two separate things, but in the same world. Meaning we had the same experience with he had MTIs, I had drill. They acted the same, and we went through the same experience, getting yelled at, getting woken up, getting
Well, your
called.
basic training for your branch is different for a reason. Like people say, like, oh, the chair force, whatever. Basic training is the easiest. It is the easiest physically, but they're all different for a different. They're not
Oh
just
yeah,
the
they
Air
really
Force
are.
isn't easier physically just because they don't feel like doing anything. It's easier physically because they put a higher priority focus on other concepts. Like his was more harder physically, like he did rucks and all that because it's for a purpose. Like he did the things he did in basic for a reason. Same thing with me.
Yeah.
It's completely different but the same at the same time. You're gonna experience the depression of not being home.
Yeah,
You're gonna get homesick.
they all have their similarities and all have their differences at the same time.
You're gonna have people that like crash out for no reason, just they're just super stressed out. But
Just
also
elaborate
like
on me.
for me is that one thing I experienced that, you know, like not a lot of people had this experience unless you were there for it. I had 7 people die when I was over in training. Um, I saw one guy, he died directly in front of me during when
That's
I
the
was
way
at
to get them.
reception. And I was there in like, that was my 4th day there. I saw die just randomly. Died from a heat stroke of all things. And you have people like, they'll
A lot of
like,
people have passed out for like heat exhaustion because I was in San Antonio, Texas for basic training. So obviously it's hot and people passed out over where I was at just because we're in a super hot ass environment and people aren't using their head and drinking water every day like they tell you to drink. They give you a brief every day before PT. Like drink this like one water bottle per hour of the day
Yeah.
for a reason. And if you passed out, it's obviously because you weren't on top of like what you're how much water you're taking in.
Yeah.
also like,
Uh,
not just like drinking water, also just being a fucking idiot too. Like, not clearing a fucking weapon. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've heard
oh yeah.
stories of like fucking someone not clearing a weapon, or they haven't swapped the barrel off their fucking 249, or and just the fucking barrel explodes, or they go on a fucking cyclic round, which so for the 249 saw the cyclic round 800 800 rounds fucking per minute, which that's what you
Jesus.
call a runaway gun. Runaway guns where the gun just fires. And when you don't swap out your fucking barrel, first of all, you should swap out periodically every like two-ish round or two drum mags. You should at least swap out. How many stories I've heard that the rounds backfired and fucking hit a sergeant in the fucking shoulder or just completely blew the head off of a sad ass trainee. Just like
It's
just
actually
dumb
tragic.
shit.
The fucking blitz on me, bro.
Yeah, it's actually tragic because I've seen. I mean, my dad. I'm actually shocked that no one got injured, but we would never clear barrels at all at Dad's house, and it's actually crazy.
The blitz fucking rang in here like
I remember shooting guns, like unloading the mag whenever I was like 12, and we would not clear. Only thing we would do is we would not point the gun at someone when they were downrange. But even then, like, it's actually insane. And then back to what you were saying earlier about military police, a lot of people don't realize when you go military, you can later run for SWAT because there's a lot of
Oh,
SWAT.
the fucking Sophia's prone.
There's a lot of SWAT people that are just straight up military or have some sort of background like that.
Oh yeah, no, oh, yeah, dude. I'm telling you, like majority of military, whenever they get out, they have this conception of like, now what the fuck am I gonna do? Like, I don't know about you, Connor. Like for me, well, you probably didn't have that feeling. But like when I came home, I had no fucking sensation of what the fuck I was supposed to do. I had no one yelling at my ass, and that's something that a lot of people that get out of the military when they're much older, they have nothing else to fucking do. So one thing they go to is jobs that's real, which is police, security, or any other three-letter organization, FBI, CIA, um, you know,
M16. I don't know if M16 is even a thing anymore, but
what?
M16.
Oh, the
Or I don't
M16.
know. I don't know if it was called M16, but there was like an operative called M16.
Oh no, you said M16 or you said M16. I'm gonna get thought of the gun. I don't know. Well, a lot of like military
KGB.
people, they
Although
go a
KGB is
lot.
Russian.
Yeah, a lot of your military is gonna like resort to jobs that remind them of when they were in the military, unless you were like a part of a non-combat MOS such as construction. Like obviously you're gonna go towards like a construction, career. But even like flight stuff too, you're gonna be attached to fucking um if you're a pilot, commercial piloting for American Airlines or Spirit, or just working on aircrafts at an airport. Like you connect a lot with your job and to civilian. Like a lot of people like say how like for me, like I can't remember how many times like someone's walked up to me like just out of the middle of nowhere and just like text me saying, "What are you gonna do when you get out of the military? Since you're infantry, like nothing like corresponds with that." There's a lot of jobs that correspond doing that, but I don't plan on ever getting out. I plan on like either dying in the battlefield or retiring. And if I was to get out, I definitely am going police force because it's the closest thing that like resembles infantry.
I recommend going SWAT, honestly.
SWAT. Okay, so okay, look, straying away from military, SWAT is genuinely one of the most overhyped and overrated things I've ever seen in my life. First of all, when you are SWAT, that is the same thing as having a fucking ability, like a skill you obtained in the military. You only do it when you are called up and you train for it, depending on your city. Second thing, they have one of the most dangerous jobs in the civilian world because you have no idea what scenario you're walking into. Your brief is very, very fucking limited. You don't know what you're gonna walk into. You can have a call that said we have a guy. He's not want to come out of his arm. He's not want to come out of his house, and he's and then that person somehow made a fucking pipe bomb and blew up their fucking house.
Yeah,
You don't know what scenario you're walking into. That's why it's super like underrated.
it is pretty
Because
underrated. I'll
you
admit.
never know what you're gonna walk into.
Someone in chat just said, much like the close protection bodyguards, the good ones are from the armed forces background, which basically they're talking about like mercenary or bodyguard background for military instead of police force. What do you think about that?
Um,
Which obviously mercenary isn't a common thing, but like private bodyguard or something like that.
I definitely say if you went PMC, so a lot of PMCs have being PMC is like really difficult to kind of correspond to the civilian world. So PMC stands for like private military contractors.
Yeah.
Um, if you had that background, you can have opportunities that correspond with that, such as like the fuck are they called? Secret Service is one that's like
Oh
one that
yeah.
corresponds with that. But like if you have a job where you are like I guess like this I don't want to say slang, but like kind of like overused term of mercenary,
Yeah.
like you have a good chance of running for intel. Like,
Obviously I just meant mercenary as just a general broad statement.
well, yeah, like if you went in like the military and you had a mercenary like background, like you have a lot of options, but it's it's definitely going to help you get those jobs, but it's not really a good option for the long run unless you're
Okay,
like really
this guy in
young.
the chat is from this guy in my chat is from the UK, to be fair. So I should say that.
I mean, mercenary is like it's like a broad spectrum too. Like, I'm not saying that's like
UK
a
stuff,
bad idea.
I have no idea.
Okay, this is the guy in my he said, I've worked with people. By the way, I should mention he's also like he's like been security for like concerts and like security for hire and things like that. He said, I've worked for people who have helped diamond and gold cargoes in conflict parts of the world, all Army background. Which obviously, I feel like private contractors, private military contractors, they're I don't think they're as common in the US as they are in other parts of the world,
They're
honestly,
definitely
because
like really I don't want to say unheard of, but they're definitely not as common because we don't have a lot of like opportunities than the rest of the world does, just because how
yeah,
limited we are.
we usually spend most of our stuff on military and then police forces. We don't really have private military contractors for anything in the States anyway, as far as I'm
No,
aware.
like with your PMCs, you can have a job of like transporting something all the way to the point where you're getting paid like 100 grand to go spend like 3 months in fucking Brazil for some dumbass reason. Like it's really weird versus like I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain 'cause I don't have a lot of like information or experience in that type of topic. What I do know is that the United States does not have a lot of opportunities than other countries when it comes to like contracts.
Mm, absolutely.
The good thing it can do, though, I will say, the good thing it can do is that if you serve minimum of like 3 to 4 years in the United States military, that will help you a long way to become a con for other regions, like French Foreign Legions.
There's government contractors like that I work with. They're like my coworkers. They're all older though because they're prior service, but they're civilians now, and they're contracted by the government. Like you have opportunities. I don't know how much in the army, but in the Air Force, you have opportunities to. You don't even have. You don't
most of them are prior service, but you don't have to be prior service. But like, say you have the amount of you have the credentials, like say you whatever my career field, which is an aviation career field, say you got like a AMP, which is an airframe and power plant. It's a very highly respected certification. You have a high chance of getting a job on job, whatever job it is concerning aircraft. I don't really know the job careers available for AMP. I know there's a lot, but whatever it is, you have a high chance of being able to get a job on base with that high certification as a civilian. So
Okay, he doesn't mean AMP as in the YouTuber group, by the way.
no, not AMP, and
Oh, you
I
said
fast.
NP. Okay.
It's and P, like and.
Okay, I got you.
It
I'm
stands for
sorry.
it's like it's a certification that civilians can get. Going to aviation trade schools and whatever. Yeah, it's called an airframe and power plant.
Okay. I may honestly just turn this into a podcast episode since the game audio is muted anyway. Because this is a really, I mean, I'm learning a lot, chat's learning a lot, everybody's learning a lot about military in the United States, and I think that's really good. Hey, what's going on, Marzuriak?
Hopefully we
Azuric.
gave a good insight of like if anyone's like interested in joining, whatever the case might be, if they're looking for a military as in like they want to be like on the ground, kind of like a Hollywood look like situation, kind of like how Gunner is with infantry, or if they want to just more be like kind of like me. I mean, Army also has just like normal regular jobs, obviously as well, but like kind of like me, where you go to the military and you learn a trade pretty much.
Yeah.
It's just whatever you want to do. It's just there's all sorts of opportunities that a lot of people don't know about.
Yeah, and even if you learn a trade, chat, and you don't even think about military while you're learning that trade, like I said earlier, while I was learning my trade, I had 3 or 4 different military recruiters come at me and come up to me for computer networking and engineering just because I was in a trade at Gordon Cooper that was doing that sort of thing. Like a lot of people don't realize military and Marine and Army and Space Force and National Guard and everything else under
Space
the fucking
Force
sun
is
a lot of different jobs.
It's hard to get into though, just because it requires a super high security clearance.
Yeah,
and it's a very intelligent field.
a lot of people don't realize that.
Don't get like a lot of job like I don't want to say like a lot of job opportunities, but like if you compare your ASVAB score with Air Force versus like any other branch in general, you're gonna have access to a lot of different jobs. Don't just look at one MO, like don't look at one branch. Look at all branches with your ASVAB score.
Absolutely.
That's a mistake that majority of people do, is that they take their ASVAB score to the first recruiter they see, and they're like, "Shit, that's all I got."
Yeah, that is a good idea. Don't, like you said, don't zoom in on one job specifically, and also don't zoom in on one branch also, because there could be another branch that gives you a huge opportunity compared to another one that you thought you really wanted, but you never know.
And don't ever just like, okay, so like a lot of MOSs have a bonus. Bonus is what you get for certain MOSs, and you get them within 90 days after graduating from your AIT school. I signed on to
Gonna pause that. You're saying, I don't know if you explain what MOS is. Did you explain what MOS is?
MOS is your job.
So another thing to keep in mind, notice how I haven't said MOS yet, is because each branch of the military, they have their own like acronym or whatever for your job. Like the Army is MOS. What does MOS stand for again? Gunner. Gunner, are you there?
Hold on. I can pull it up.
Say what?
Gunner, what does MOS stand for?
Oh, military occupation specialty.
Okay.
There you go.
So like they're called MOS, like he just said, military occupation specialty. Air Force doesn't have like MOS.
I just fucking
Ours
that
is
guy.
called ours is called a AFSC, which is called Air Force Specialty Code. So it's just like just how Gunners is like 11 Bravo because he's infantry.
Yeah.
My specialty code, it's a code of just like how Gunners 11 Bravo. Mine, I have a set of like numbers and stuff. It's just whatever. It's just the job. Like his is called MOS, mine's called AFSC. They all different things, so don't get too confused. Like when he's saying MOS, AFSC, it's just when we say that, it means their job. Like my MOS is a 2 Alpha 5.
God.
My MOS is 2 Alpha 531.
Yeah.
And his is 11 Bravo, so they're all different.
Why is your stream flagged for sexual theme? You ain't even dancing, you're in a hot tub. Well, because sometimes we reference rape or something like that, so I have to flag my stream as sexual. Flagged. I'm sorry for that, Mazurek. It's just a thing with Twitch, honestly. But yeah, like you said, there's so many jobs.
Yeah, there's 11 Bravo's infantry. My FSC, like I said, is 2 Alpha 531. My job title in my FSC, like I said, I'm a crew chief, but that's just like a short acronym, like slang kind of thing. People say. I'm technically my job field's called airlift special missions aircraft mechanic. That's what it's technically called. So, and if you want to also look at the like the different jobs, you can look up Air Force careers, and it should be the top or second to the top link on like whatever Google or Microsoft Edge or whatever you use. It has, when you go on that site, it'll have like categories of careers, like it'll have like nuclear weapons, it'll have maintenance. I forgot exactly what it says. It'll have like categories. I mean, y'all know what I mean, like categories of jobs, like what kind of category it fits into. And it'll show you all the jobs, like tell you the name of the job, and you click on it and read about it, and you can scroll down to the bottom. It'll show you where your basic training is, and it'll show you like where you'll go for technical training, and then it'll show the AFSC down on the bottom, like what your specialty code would be if you were to get selected for that job.
Yeah.
So
a lot of people think that Space Force is really easy. I'm sorry, I'm thinking about. I'm really delayed. I have to process everything you say, and then like 10 minutes later, I'll think about it. Space Force, like you said earlier, a lot of people think it's easy to get in Space Force, and that it's an easy career path
no, it's
to
a
go
very
for in the
intelligent
military.
branch.
Yeah, dude, you gotta be locked in to get into Space Force. I think that it might honestly replace NASA in the future.
It might. Yeah, it might.
Like I think honestly, that's our future.
It's a really new
idea
branch,
for it.
because keep in mind the Space Force was introduced as its own like branch in 2019.
Has it really been that long? Dude, it's been like
Yeah,
6
but
years then.
but when you say, but that's a relatively new branch considering all the
Yeah.
branches. Like before that, the Air Force was the youngest.
Yeah,
Because the Air Force came its own branch in 1947.
you got to think about that in military years. Not, I bet flying a 10 Warthog is badass. I paid Elon 10 Bitcoin to join Space Force Gone Wrong. Oh yeah, that is a good title. I bet flying a A10 Warthog is badass. Have any of y'all flew one of those yet?
Have I? You said, what was your question again? Have I done what?
Cheddar asked, he said, "I bet flying an A10 Warthog is badass." Wait, does an A10 Warthog exist?
Yeah,
Yes,
Okay,
it's in
I'm
Warhawk
thinking of
is
the
like
Halo V.
it's
I'm thinking of the
it's
Halo vehicle. It's a plane, isn't it?
they're on the verge of discontinuation though.
imagine
Yeah, I
like
feel like that was a thing in Vietnam.
It's an old. It's been around for a long time. I
And you
think
go
they're on the
fly one
verge
of
of
those, or
discontinuation, but I think they're gonna like not completely, but they're gonna like make a version of it, new version of it.
have any
So
of
not
y'all
really
flown one of
discontinuation,
those,
but
or
improving it.
flew in a flight sim of one of those?
I have not. When I was at technical training, there was every time we went to class, we went to class at a hangar, obviously to learn, because that's
Yeah.
where we'll be, like the environment. And there's A10s there. We passed A10s, fighters, and all that every day.
I've only seen one A10 in my life.
Did I say what plane I work on, by the way?
No, you have not. Would you like to tell my chat?
I work on the C-17 Glowmaster.
Okay, chat. I'll look up a picture of that for my chat here in a second. Whenever we're out off this round, a C-17 Glober,
Glowmaster.
Globemaster. Okay. I'm sorry if I dismember or don't talk properly. I'm very fucked up right now, but I'm paying attention. It just takes me a minute to listen to what you're saying and process it.
I will say, like, I don't know what type of like audience you have, whether like if they're military minded or not. But if you are wanting to go like gun ho and join infantry, keep in mind you're gonna ruck a lot. I rucked
What does ruck mean?
21. So ruck is where you put uh imagine like a big backpack. Imagine a backpack that has everything you need to sleep out in the field.
Okay.
And you walk in a staggered column. Staggered column is 2 lines. And you are walking in, that was a nice fucking though. You're walking in a staggered line or staggered column, which is line right in front of a
Yeah.
person. And you walk for miles until they tell you to stop. And it could go, the shortest one we did was 2 miles. The longest one we did was 21 miles. Or not 21, 20 miles. And it is uphill and downhill. And if you go to infantry, go to Benning, Georgia, which was previously called and you'll go through this thing called Stairway of Heaven, which is the closest thing you can do, which is the Crucible. That's this big ass hill you can go up. And for us, it is 5 miles of mountains that you just climb up and climb down.
Yeah,
Hell.
I remember GTA, which obviously is nothing like military, obviously. But whenever I was in a military GTRP server, they had us do something like that where they will climb up Mount Chiliad. So I
Imagine like like the roads on Mount Chiliad, like that.
damn sheer beauty. What's the crash average of those giant cargo Boeings? That's one of the giant cargo Boeing planes. What do you know the average crash rate of one of those? Is he here? Connor?
You said the crash rate?
Yeah.
I do not know the crash rate. Crashes, they happen. I can't really say most of the time because crashes either happen because of A, the pilot, or B, the maintenance.
I'm gonna make a drink real quick. I'll be right back.
So I don't really know the statistics on that. I don't really know that. But
I will
Yeah,
say
but-
this, chat. Crashes are not as mediatized as they should be, but they're still a very common thing. Let me Google this. I'm gonna pull up the aviation safety network. The average crash rate. We're gonna do global, so that way it's not just American. These are every single one that has crashed since 1998. And we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 22 to 25 globally have crashed. So honestly, that's not too bad for a cargo plane.
Yeah, and all the stuff that I've mentioned and everything, like about my job or the Air Force, if anyone in the chat has any more questions about it, everything that I mentioned is all Google accessible. If you want to look it up,
Alright, I'm back.
I say that because it has to be Google accessible, obviously. That's all I
Chat,
can
don't
like
believe
really
the
say.
don't believe the first thing on Google, by the way. Do a lot
Yeah,
of
yeah,
research.
don't. If you
I
genuinely
clicked on
want
like
to
the
know,
third or fourth link.
if you
That's
genuinely
fair
want
with
to
all
know,
the plane Boeing crashes in the past few years. I wondered if the Army ones were affected. We get you guys can't say some things. Yeah, that's fair. So if there's anything y'all can't say, don't feel bad
yeah,
that you can't say it.
everything that I've mentioned is all Google accessible. So if you really want to like know more about it, anything I said, do research about it if it's really on your mind. But yeah, because
I can't ask him who shot JFK. Nobody knows who shot JFK except for JFK. And I don't even think he knew.
I will say, like, this little tidbit is that a lot of information about the military is accessible via you.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the information I learned before I joined, I just simply just looked it up. Just kind of like
Yeah.
mentally prepared myself for.
I don't know about
anything
you,
that
Gunner,
could
but I have a security clearance. So there's obviously like everything that I say has to be accessible, like via recruiter or via if the recruiter don't know, because obviously your recruiter had a certain job before they started recruiting, via like Google researching the job, whatever. Because obviously there's something like I can't say, so that's probably the reason why. Like, because there's some things that I could say, but obviously I'm not going to because like just like for example, like my job, like we have our phones and stuff like that, but you can't like even at my job, like you got to be careful where you point your camera when your camera's on.
Yeah, no, like for me, I can't fucking. Okay, so let's say like it comes to the point where it's like a year out from my deployment, right? I cannot post what airport I'm at. I can't post where I'm landing at.
Yep.
I can't post
Yep, that's
anything,
what I think.
anything at all. I can't post nothing until after my deployment.
There's
Or
certain deployments that you can't even tell your family where you're going.
no,
You can only
yeah,
tell them that you're leaving and for how long, and that's it. Like you can't even tell them, "Hey,
dude,
I'm boarding right now," or "Hey, I arrived." You gotta tell them that, "Hey, I'm leaving. I'll be back this time."
dude. When I recently found out when I was in Louisiana,
But that's a very
that
rare situation, though.
my when my dad got deployed back in 11 to Afghanistan for his second time, they stopped in Kuwait and like I'm not gonna say what they did, but they did something I had no idea that why they stopped there. And that's like something like I have not known this for like over like 10 years. And just a random ass sergeant I met just told yeah, we went to Kuwait and did this. Like, you have security, like, just because you're infantry, like, there's stuff that you're not allowed.
Yeah.
Like,
I will say
there's
something. I'm gonna kind of beat around the bush. Um, like my job, there's certain areas that you can't go to without access, and I had to do tests and all sorts of like tests and stuff. Obviously, they ran security clearances on me even after I joined. They're continuing to run security clearances on me, just to keep an active update. Um, like I have to have access to get in these certain areas for my career. So there is certain jobs, certain, and I'm considered like I need a security clearance, but I'm not even considered like a high. I'm considered like a medium to low level security clearance.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, in which I wanted the security clearance is a little iffy, but still, like security clearances range. Obviously, I mean, you say you're
Based off
high,
your
but
career.
clearly, yeah. Like my uncle, he literally only needed 2 key cards and a government laptop and a government iPhone to log into his security system. But real quick, I don't know if this is relevant, but a chatter in my chat said, I've been watching the Sean Ryan podcast. If you know about it, what's your opinion on it? Do any of y'all know what that is? I don't know if that's like a military podcast.
You said Sean Ryan podcast.
Yeah.
I'm not
that doesn't ring a bell
familiar
to me.
too familiar with it.
Okay. I guess that must be something he's okay. I thought maybe that was like a military podcast or something. Chatter, what's that about? Missouri. But yeah, continue, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, what does he talk about?
Hey, let me pull it up. Pull it up on stream. Let me see if maybe this is
I don't really. I
something.
haven't
Maybe
really
this
listened
is
to
a
a whole lot
military
of podcasts.
podcast. Hold on. The Sean Ryan Show is hosted by Sean Ryan, former U.S. Navy SEAL, CIA contractor, and former
Mm.
Oh, it's the
founder
bald ass guy.
Vigilant Elite. We tell real stories about real people. Okay, let me pull him up then. Let me pull up his podcast. Let's see here. The Sean Ryan Show. Here we go. 4.7 million subs. Let me pull up his about here. I'm
Holy
Sean
shit.
Ryan, a former U.S. Navy SEAL and former CIA contractor. Special Operations Outreach for Veterans Advocacy Services, CNBC contractor, and owner of Vigilance Elite. If there's one thing you can come to expect on this channel is pure honesty. My main goal
Oh,
here. So
I've
this
seen him
must be
before.
okay.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. It's the bald guy. I mean, as soon as you said Navy SEAL, I knew exactly.
Yeah, he's bald.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've seen some of his content. I have.
I
A
haven't
lot of it
seen it.
is
I've
true.
I've maybe seen 1 or 2 clips now that I'm looking at his what he looks like.
A lot of his stuff is a lot of things I've heard um throughout my career. Just like you'll hear like for me, I had a drill sergeant. He wasn't the greatest guy. Definitely a lot of my drill sergeants. I mean, it could
You
just
view a
because they were
side of him
infantry.
that's you viewed a side of him that's not really him though either.
What do you mean?
What I mean is like
Ugh.
your drill instructors, like how they act is not really them.
Yeah. Like
Yeah, that's pretty true.
like for me, like one of my drill instructors I looked up to a lot was an asshole to me personally, but he has a lot of war crime stories that like kind of gives you like a culture shock onto like field you're going into. Like he used to tell us all the time. So he was in, and the stories like you would hear is, oh, they start climbing the plains, you know, they tragically would fall. You know what? You know what him and his buddy were doing? They were sitting there keeping track of the numbers, and every time they die, like falling out of the sky, they would drink a beer.
That's crazy.
That's what they would do, and that's the type of shit that like you just sadly have to deal with. Is just, I mean, when you first hear that, you're like, hell yeah, freedom. But you look at it as a bigger picture of, wow, you're really taking a fucking shot watching his, you know, some guy just like trying to escape, like fall out of the sky. But it's just shit like that you'll hear in the military, just nonchalantly, just like, or I don't know the word. I'm really drunk right now. Like, you'll just hear like random ass shit. You just sit there, like that shit actually happened. There's a lot of war crimes. Like my unit was famously known for pissing on
I don't know if you should announce war crimes live. I'm not gonna lie, but
things you should not do while in war.
yeah, I know what war. Yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone knows what. Sorry, man, that's crazy though. Okay, got any other questions? Trying to think of another one right now. Okay, that's a good question. Did y'all mostly use um, rubber bullets, blanks, or regular rounds in training?
Regular.
For oh, just like in like getting qualified on your like your weapons training.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you go to a firing range. You use genuine bullets, like real
Okay.
bullets.
I know I don't know about Air Force, but for Army, we used blank rounds before we used live rounds.
Interesting.
Meaning, if you were to, if you were doing, okay, so
By the way, one of the
how to
most fun in the Air Force.
Let me pull up a blank round
One of
for anyone
one
who
of the
doesn't know what
most
that is.
fun in the Air Force. One of the most fun days you'll have in basic training. By the way, you'll have if you do join the Air Force and you go to basic, it comes at the time where you go to the firing range. That day will not even feel like basic training. That day will be a blast.
I will say in the Army, that's like for basic training wise, once you, okay, so in the Army, we have three phases: red, white, and blue. Once you hit white phase, that's when you start shooting, and you're shooting for a straight up fucking month. And what you do is they give you blank rounds to do operatives. So we have this thing that's called buddy system, right? So you do buddy
Mhm.
runs, and a lot of like military people will recognize this term. I'm up, I'm down. What it is that you basically you kind of do an alternate bound. Alternate bound is when one person says, I'm cover me while I move. You wait. Other person says, I got your cover. And then you say moving. You get up, you run for a 3 to 5 second sprint. He sees me, I'm down, you get down, you get up, and you bound to the next fucking boundary. And you say set. And during that whole thing, that's when you're using blank rounds. You see, you do what's called
Okay.
3 phase shooting. You have shouts, blanks, and live.
Okay.
And for Army, we had access to Knotz's night ocular device, or civilians call it night vision goggles or NVGs.
Okay.
And you have to do that for a day and night. So at nighttime, you use nods, and during daytime, you just, normal vision. And we shot a lot, and you shoot up to like 300 yards. Good.
Using into B?
Yeah, so I mean, in the Army, you use blank. just to answer that question, you do use blank like, a lot, which
Okay.
sucks, especially when you have to pick up brass because brass is fucking annoying to pick up. Especially if you're shooting a lot, which you do. Like for us, like when we went and did like some, we did they ordered out like fucking 500,000 rounds
Jesus
for us to
Christ,
use.
that guy.
Yeah, that's
Yo, my
interesting.
fault,
Y'all
bro.
wouldn't
You
have
scared
to
the
use
actual fuck out of me.
rubber, because I mean, a lot of people don't realize blanks are blanks, but blanks can still produce a projectile if you know under certain circumstance.
So, well, okay,
You're
so
right.
what we do is, so we have what's called BFA, right? Blank
Okay.
firing adapter. Blank firing
Yeah.
adapter is where you slap on the end of your barrel, and if it's not tightly on, so with blanks, I've shot like hundreds of thousands of rounds, if not like a million rounds of 5.56 and 7.62s, and I haven't came across the point where I'm to the point if you were to hold an M4A1 in front of you with a blank on it, like a BFA, and I know there's blanks in it, I would let you shove the barrel like directly in my face. I'd fully trust you to shoot me with it.
Really?
Nothing comes out of it. It's strictly just powder. You could shove a barrel directly in your fucking mouth, and the only thing that would hurt is the flash.
Mm.
It literally the most like
I heard
the
jump school is like a
dumbest-
vacation.
Oh,
That's what someone in my chat said.
jumps.
Anyone here go to that?
What happened? I just got back.
Someone in my
So
chat said jump school is like vacation, or so he heard.
I've heard. I don't think I've
know
heard
what that
of.
is.
If he's talking about. Okay, so there's air assault school. There's air assault school. Okay, so jump is like a really wide spectrum. So you have
I guess it's like
school and you have
army.
airborne school. Jump school. If it's what I'm thinking of, I honestly don't know. I want to say jump to what I think I have heard of it. I don't know if he's talking about like the jump school or just like the thought of just like repelling or jumping out, cargo planes, which would be your airborne
He's
school.
talking about just like, yeah, that's what I said. I wonder if he's just talking about airborne.
Because
What are you talking about, bro?
There is like repel master school, which I don't think it's called repel master, but you do have to jump out of like Blackhawks and like you get a certification for that, and also airborne. If you jump out of a certain amount of times out of cargo plane, you do get a verification badge. I'm not sure that's what he's talking about, but that is a thing.
Okay, I got another one right here. If there's anything you could tell yourself before enlisting, now that you have enlisted, what would it be to help prepare them ahead?
Are you talking about like myself?
So, like,
now that
what would you tell a
enlisted?
person who's thinking about enlisting now that you have enlisted?
That's
I'm
actually
gonna hit, like, there's a lot of things to talk about, but I'm gonna hit the main points. Especially being active duty, since you have to be away from home. Literally, just that's literally it. The main thing is, I'm gonna hit the biggest thing that people like worry about when they enlist is like being away from family, like basic training. The fact that going to basic training you have no communication with your family besides letters and like those are like especially Air Force, you only get 2 phone calls with your family in 7 weeks. You mainly rely on letters. I would say that one of the biggest, hardest things is to mentally prepare yourself for mentally prepare yourself for being gone for basic, having no communication, and also if you want to go active duty, prepare yourself also to be just you can obviously still talk to your family, but prepare yourself to be gone, be away from home. A a a big thing. Um, and another thing is like just active duty type stuff. Just career wise. Don't get complacent. That's one of the biggest things. When you get to your job, make sure you stay on top of your studies, study your job on your off time, learn your job. If they give you the study material, which they should when you get to your duty station, because you're still going to be kind of training also, even though you went to technical training, you'll still be training, learning stuff actively. Make sure you stay on top of that, learning your job in your free time. It will benefit you like no other. Help you out, help you out with the job, and just make your life easier overall. But I would say the biggest thing is prepare yourself to just to be gone, because you will be gone. It will suck. Um, Kind of what's one input, like positive input, like you would suggest. I'll think of stuff while you're saying what you need to say.
Well, for me, so with okay, so knowing so okay, how do I put it? So I
Knowing what you
joined.
know now, what would you tell a new recruit?
Do not join if you're taken. If you're in a relationship and you are thinking about joining, do not how do I put it? One thing, okay, so fun
Well, I
fact.
wouldn't say do not join if you're taken,
No,
but
what I meant to say
really
was
know your partner. If that's someone that you totally like, you see, like that's someone that you really want, you can't see yourself without. Obviously, yes, join if that's what you really want to do. But really know your partner and really know that he or she, whoever, whatever the case may be, make sure that significant other, whoever it is the one. Because if you're just kind of like just in like a 3 month relationship or something like that, it's gonna be hard because those relationships that haven't been going on for very long, you join, you don't really know each other that well. And so when you don't know someone that well, it's hard to keep a long distance when you don't know them enough to know if they're the one to say goodbye to for 3, 4, 5 months without being able to talk to them. So I
so
gotta
like
continue.
for for my situation, I went to OSIT. So OSIT is one station unit training, and with OSIT, you're there for 6 months. So I was away from home for 6 months. But I kept a book. I bought a book over at the PX, which is a post exchange. Air Force calls it a base exchange. Same thing.
It's the same
But
thing.
I
Yeah,
bought a
it's the same
book
thing.
that I wrote in all my thoughts. And one thing I wish I could tell people is if you're in a relationship, that's going to be your main struggle throughout your training is being away from your significant other. Your family, yeah, you're going to miss your family a lot. You're going to miss them.
Yeah,
That one person you love the most.
the biggest focus that I would tell myself and tell others is the whole mental health aspect, and the big mental health aspect is you're missing your family and all that. Another thing is don't isolate yourself, like especially when you get to your duty station. Don't just go to your duty station and like sit in your dorm or whatever and just kind of like stay to yourself. Don't, even if you are introverted or something like that, try your best to make relationships and bonds with your coworkers or your people that you serve with, because say you're at somewhere for you're at your duty station for 3 years, right? You're somewhere else for 3 years and you're isolating yourself. Now you're just to yourself and have no one to talk to for that certain amount of time, besides family back home on those occasional phone calls you make. And now you're really setting yourself up for bad mental health, because then you're going to really start feeling that sensation of loneliness. So definitely you build your bonds with people, make new friends, Like obviously I have friends, like I have my buddy Gunner in this chat. He's a friend at home, but say if I just didn't make any friends here and it was just him and I can't ever like see him or see any of my buddies back home, um, it would make it would make it really hard here mentally, knowing that during the day, normal day to day, I have no one to go talk to about just mess around bullshit. And another thing is you have no one in person to go talk to if you're having some issues or whatever.
You're also gonna make like a lot of good ass buddies while you're in training. Like definitely like piggybacking off what you said earlier was like constantly like don't lock yourself up anywhere. You're gonna have
Mm.
buddies while you're in training that you can constantly go back to that you can relate with. Like for me, when I came back home, one thing I really struggled with was the fact that it didn't feel like home. It felt like I was in a different dimension, as if like
Yep.
time stopped, everyone else moved on, and I was in a
Yeah.
different dimension, like some Doctor Strange type shit. And I talked to my army buddies, like, do you miss training at all? Do you miss like what's like are you having issues? I was in a really depressed time. I became a severe alcoholic and constantly just, dreaded coming home.
And I feel
Back
like
to training.
this conversation applies more to me because Gunner's back home as National Guard. I'm actively gone. Like I can go home like when I take leave, right? But I'm actively gone here halfway across the country for home for 3 years until I go. Well, even like permanently until I leave. I'm just here until I have to go somewhere else, right? So so since I'm not married yet, I live in a my because I'm engaged, but I'm not married, so I'm just here by myself, and I live in a dorm. And say I didn't make any buddies or talk to anybody at all, and so every day after work or on the weekends, I'm just here by myself in my dorm. Just think of the effects of that. Say if I just stayed in my dorm and just every single day all I did was stay to myself in my dorm, it would eventually start feeling like imprisonment. You know what I mean? Like you go and you feel like you're just stuck here because, like, the weekend comes and you're just in your dorm by yourself. Come to work next Monday, and you feel like you didn't even really. It would feel like you didn't even really have like a weekend. You feel like you're just in this like work, go to sleep, type situation. So it definitely would put a mental effect on you if you don't try to like make friends, make buddies, have that bonding scenario with the people that you're around.
Yeah. I got a couple more things here. My
I don't think I was
drinking
saying
buddy is in the army and he tells me his job is in the intelligence department. He won't tell me anything else. And then I also have the subject of relationships. Oh, wait, no, hold on. Sorry, let me read the message before that. I don't know when it comes to the military, but my knowledge about it is pretty much non-existent. I know what it's like. I had a buddy who signed up for the Air Force and got into the bio side of the Army. Didn't see him or hear from him for 4 years. The subject of relationships
so we were back.
in the forces is a very big thing. And then the next one after that from a different chatter is my drinking buddy is in the Army and he can't tell me pretty much anything.
About like his day-to-day like occupation.
Yeah.
Does he talk to him just like as just like a friend standpoint, like not even mention say like not even mentioning his job, just like kind of like good old times, like talking about like back then the times they used to
No,
bullshit
he
around or
says he mentions his that he's like a part of the intelligence department and like small things like that, but he won't tell him anything else.
yeah, I get that like that scenario. Obviously He's doing what he's supposed to be doing. He's doing what he's expected. Like intelligence, that's a lot higher security than way
I
higher
love
than
that.
me. Obviously you can't do that, but even though no matter your security clearance, like people back home, you can talk to them about just just regular old like life things. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But
Don't reveal
there's
too
nothing
much
stopping
info.
him from like talking to his people back home or buddies back home. But
Absolutely.
obviously, if you don't mention work at all to them, then I'd say you're golden. Like there's no reason why you can't. I mean, like you can say stuff like, "Man, I'm tired from work. I'm just trying to relax." I mean, let's see, you can say that stuff, but obviously not nothing about like specifics about your job. But
Yeah.
there's nothing stopping him from just bullshitting and talking to your buddies on the phone. There's nothing stopping that. Is that like
Um,
what he's asking? Is he just like saying like his buddy's just never talking to him at all, or
No, he was just saying that he can't mention anything. Like he was saying he has a buddy, but he only mentions like the small details and not like the main things, like
yeah,
about the intelligence department.
yeah, and that's understandable. He's doing the right thing. He's doing kudos to him. He's doing what he's supposed to be doing, especially
definitely
being
don't.
in
And
I would like
intelligence. So
to put a little tip it in. If you know that you have somebody that's in service in an intel position, they would. It's kind of. I know I like you guys probably don't feel like I'm really don't run out of words are really complicated for me right now, but they probably really want to tell you what they actually do for due to their MOS position. It's hard for them to actually express what they
oh
do.
yeah, like even like right now, there's some shit I would love to tell y'all about, but um obviously I can't.
It's
Like
easier
I
for
can
me
tell
because
y'all, like I'm in Washington working on what plane. Like say I can tell you I'm in Washington working on what plane because you can go look up what planes are at whatever base and Google will tell you that. But like I can't tell you like, hey, I work at this plane, this is my unit, all that. Because then you can start putting two and piecing stuff together.
there's definitely like a
Not
lot of
yeah,
saying not saying y'all will, but like I don't know
there's
who's in your
there's a
chat
lot
silent right
of
now, so there's this like I can't just be like start just like blabbering about like my whole life.
you also got to
yeah,
put it in perspective that because you're not in service, that really does not help your situation to the fact that there's a lot of things at MEPS that you did, such as your oath. Took an oath to protect and serve your nation. And that
absolutely.
goes in line to the fact that there's intel you can't tell people that you really want to tell. Like if it came to the
Yeah.
point where it was like, you know, I want to brag on Snapchat, brag on Instagram, like, yeah, I just fucking
Hmm.
dumped some fucking, god damn it. I got flashed. Like
Yeah,
if I was to do some badass shit, I'm talking like pelt a fucking Blackhawk and fucking assassinate some fucking robe guy. I
thank you,
wanted to
Patrick.
post that shit on Snapchat, but can I? Fuck no. And I'm fucking
Yeah,
pissed that I can't. And there's things that we take an oath for a reason, and it's not to hurt your feelings at all. We want to tell you, we just legally can't because of the oath. There's nothing you should take to heart.
Yeah,
yeah,
like say whoever the guy that asked on the chat, like your buddy not telling you these things, it's not him like trying to like switch up or anything. It's nothing like that. It's just that he's obligated to do it.
And
yeah,
You
obviously, we
can't
don't
say
know your
anything.
situation at all either. Like, we don't know your situation, but because of the fact that, you got two military guys telling you things at a wide spectrum of just like, there's things that we know on our side, kind of take that into consideration that just because of our experience, we know things that we can and can't do. And that doesn't mean that we know everything that your buddy can and can't do either. I don't know if
Yeah,
that makes any sense. I'm
absolutely.
really drunk right now, so the words don't really make sense.
There's
But
basically
like,
contracts they sign that they can't expose the details of their job fully to the extent, but they will say what they can based on what that contract says.
yes, yeah, thank you. That helped me
If
out a
there's
lot with words.
anything, if you can look it up on Google and it'll tell you, you can talk
But
about
yeah,
it.
that's pretty much what they can
Like if
expose.
there's something that's about my job, say I know something that's secretive, and I go on Google like acting like I'm just some regular civilian asking about trying to like get to the stuff about it and I ask about it, and it doesn't say, that's a good sign I shouldn't talk about it.
Okay, I
So
gotta wait. What is this? Xbox.
kind of to like run it back since I left. Okay, so running it back to like things I wish I would tell someone that's like trying to enlist. One, if you're in a relationship, think about, you know, there's pros and cons to it. I know a lot of guys that got cheated on while they were while they were in basic training. All right.
Hold
Well,
on. I'm
that ties
sorry.
back
I
to
need
the
to pause for a
topic
second.
of knowing your
Just
partner.
real quick.
Yeah. Like for me,
Marvel
like,
Rivals, this is not your stream. I don't know why you're trying to plug your game. We're not doing the Marvel Rivals sponsor stream right now. Please stop trying to plug my code with the Marvel Rivals link. I don't know why you're doing that. We're doing the Marvel Strike Force sponsor stream later. Stop doing that, please. Anyways, continue, guys.
So like with your relationship, it can go two ways. A, if you join in a relationship, you get what's called a Jody. So Jody is someone in the military that sneaks in with your girl, right? That's the bad thing you can do that can happen to you while you're in a relationship. The good thing is, which happened to me, was it made my relationship 10 times stronger. I was constantly concerned that I would cheat on that. But if you have the right girl, it's gonna prove the fact that you can go long distance and your relationship is gonna
Yeah.
build
I
10
mean,
times.
that's like me actively. Like my fiance is 2,000 miles away from me, and I'm not sitting here worrying because I know her, right? So like I know her intentions. I know her like you don't want to be in that relationship where you're constantly like worrying about, hey, are they gonna like cheat on me or do whatever. Like you don't want to be in that constant worry situation.
Yeah,
Yeah, fuck no.
absolutely.
That shit just gets away. One thing about that is that like it if the more you're in your head about that shit happening, the more likely you're gonna get recycled, and you know it's gonna distract you from your training. And that's
Oh, we
the
haven't even
ultimate
mentioned
goal.
recycle yet. So
Oh,
recycle, same thing. Army and Air Force, same thing. I'm pretty sure all branches, that's what
Thank you,
they call
Patrick.
it. Recycle, like in basic training, it can happen for mental issues or progress checks that you're not performing or whatever. You don't pass a PT test, whatever the case might be.
and our
Or you or you,
and
or
some
you do
cases,
something just really stupid. Like you do
yeah.
something really stupid
If
that
you've
got you
like,
in trouble. It's basically where let's say a 2 week recycle. A 2 week recycle is where they they back you up 2 weeks in training. So now you're there at basic for 2 weeks longer
you know,
than
there
what
was
you were originally intended.
you'll have your asshole drill sergeant, or let's just say instructors. You'll have your instructors that will like just the sake of just all branches. You'll have your sergeants that will be assholes. There's one guy I went to AIT with, or I guess you can say OSIT. I went to OSIT with, and he got caught with his phone 2 times. They waited until we got to Honor Hill, which last thing you have to graduate. Basically, it's like a big cult ceremony. It's a big ass bonfire. Only infantry soldiers get to go in and experience it. That's where you become, and they said by the time we got there, we're getting ready to go into the fucking gates of the infantry brotherhood, and they said, post so and so name, you are not walking in. And he just rucked 21 miles, and he got day zero to recycle. Keep in mind, this is 6 months. And he got recycled to day zero, which we started in August. And so
Okay.
that's something you also have to keep in mind. Just buy recycle.
A quick question for y'all, because this was like literally sent 10 minutes ago. I think one of the least spoken about things is the cyber security side of the forces. What's y'all's opinion on that?
Cybersecurity side, dude, those
Yeah.
guys are fucking weird. Not weird to the fact that like
That's kind of
they're
like
weird
that's
people.
the intelligence field.
They're weird, and when I say weird, weird to the extent that their training is none other. It's not like any other training you'll ever get. It's not a bad weird. It's a good weird. It's
Yeah.
honestly one of the coolest things you'll probably ever do because it's military, but not at the same time. Meaning you'll have like the most college-like fucking experience for AIT.
Honestly. Because you
But
have to go through courses, don't you, to
yeah, so
even get
Everyone
that?
knows
is advanced.
everyone's basic training though, no matter what your job is always going to be ass.
It's going to be ass no
Yeah.
matter what you do. It's going to
Y'all
be
need to
ass
realize
no matter
that.
you're not escaping the basic trainings.
Oh, absolutely
environment.
not.
No,
Army's
dude,
based. I'm pretty sure Army's based off like what you do, like what your job is. But if you're looking for Air Force, Air Force basic training, everyone participates in the same basic training.
Okay.
If
So
you're
I was
going
That's
to
good to
basic
know.
training for the Air Force, basic Army has multiple locations for basic training based on what your job is and what you're doing. The Air Force, everyone goes to basic training at Lackland Air Force Base in San Antonio, Texas.
That's good to know.
And if you go on all the careers, like on the Air Force website, on the Air
Don't
Force
we have an
website,
Oklahoma base?
it'll tell you.
no. We
Or
have
an
Fort
Oklahoma
Mill?
training yard?
units. No. Yes, we do. Fort Sill. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, the basic training bases. Everyone goes to basic training at Lackland in San Antonio
Gotcha.
for the Air
Gotcha.
Force.
Okay.
Yeah. Like if you go on the
Check, keep
careers
that in
on the
mind.
Air Force website, if you go to like careers on the Air Force website and you look at all the careers and you scroll down, it'll tell you where you go for basic training, and every single job will say at Lackland Air Force Base on the site.
Oh, okay.
One thing I will like to put a little tidbit in. If you okay, so do not take offense if you're gonna go to army, right? Speaking from experience, do not take offense to any fucking insults when it comes to
Absolutely.
your station. So if you go to Fort Jackson for your training, do not take offense if you hear infantry dumbass grunts. I can see that because I'm one of them. We
No
call it
matter what
relaxing
career
Jackson.
you go to, there'll always be like a like a branch wide joke about where you go to.
Yes, dude. No matter what MOS you pick, you'll always have some fucking
Like
shit.
there's jokes about
on
me because I'm maintenance. There's always like the maintenance guy jokes. It's wherever you go to.
Yeah,
Um,
like for
my
me,
branch,
fucking
my
infantry will
branch.
always
I mean, I'm
fucking
sure your
MOS.
chat will know what I'm talking about. My branch has, even my entire branch has like the whole joke about, I'm sure y'all heard about the chair force jokes and stuff like that.
Oh, by the way, just a little tidbit, just because like this is what we were. You have no right to fucking sit there and disregard any fucking branch until like you're actually in. Because at the end of the day, if you're in training and you ain't fucking shit. You haven't done anything to deserve the fact that you can actually talk shit on your brothers at all. Like that's just something that, like, at the end of the day, like if you're in training and you're fucking boot, or okay, so okay, let me rephrase that. Boot is someone that hasn't been deployed or hasn't done jack shit. So if you're a boot or someone that's going in, you're talking shit on Coast Guard or something like that. You have no room to talk because you haven't done any type of training or even finished your training yet to talk shit on any other ranch. Just a little tidbit there. So at the end of the day, you just got in and we had a fucking low taper fade or a mole. You haven't deserved the right to fucking sit there and, you know, banter with any other branch. Just to be clear, especially like your reserves, your National Guard, or any other active duty branch. Just a little like pet peeve of mine. Because if you're sitting there fucking gaming 7, you fucking talk about fucking Call of Duty or Fortnite and shit, and you're walking in there saying, you know, I'll never join Air Force, you fucking Chair Force, lazy fox, or talking like the Navy's gay or some shit.
Yeah.
Like you don't know what you're talking at all. You have no
Oh,
right to sit there and
absolutely.
call the Navy gay when you're sitting there and you can't fucking run a quarter mile. Like
Absolutely.
it's retarded. Like just to be honest, like if you're sitting there and you're talking, when you can't even do half the shit they have done during basic training, let alone just their day-to-day lives because they're away from home.
But visitor in America worked on the telecommunication side of businesses or bases.
Say what?
I'm sorry, I was reading a chat.
Oh.
It was. You're fine. Continue.
But yeah, if you're like one of those people, like I don't know who's in your chat, but like who's ever in chat, like if you know someone sits
There are
there
very few
and they're like,
redditors in my chat.
oh, okay,
You
good,
say
good,
that.
good. It just like if you know anybody who sits there and like, God, someone's pulled up on me.
Like I
Oh
have
my
full
God.
respect for any military service, just because most of my family has served, and I would probably be serving myself if I didn't have the, because physically I'm not able, and also I am considered autistic, so I cannot. But if I could, I would probably be serving in the military.
There's a
No
lot
matter.
of people who, and like there's jokes around too, like the people that are physically capable of joining that say, yeah, I almost joined the military. I hate those.
I mean it. I would if I could, because most of my
I know
every
people that
single
sit there and say
generation.
like they wish they joined or they want to join but they can't. I respect the people that say they wish they could join, but because the military has such a high standard on, like, the military is harder to get into than college. You can't be
Oh yeah,
diabetic, you can't be on prescriptions,
yeah.
like, and it really does suck. I mean,
I would quit smoking marijuana to be on the military for 4 years just to serve my country. But since fucking I'm autistic, military considers my not well now they consider my brain different. If it was fucking 40
okay,
years ago, I could sign up no problem.
okay, hold on, because you mentioned that. Okay, so if you do not take medication,
I do. I take hydroxyazepam, unfortunately,
fuck, I was gonna say, if
which is
you know
intoxicating.
anybody that is autistic, then okay, it's not funny. It's not funny,
It's
but
not.
it is. But
It is kind of funny. I won't lie.
I
I joke about it all the time.
know my buddy had a drill sergeant,
Yeah.
fully fucking autistic, and he became a drill sergeant.
Yeah.
That guy, he sat there and he said, "Do you like my kitty?" And the trainee said, "What?" And the guy pulled out a cup full of water. He said, "Do you
Oh.
like my kitty?" He goes, I like your kitty, Sergeant." He goes, I don't fucking like my kitty, and threw his cup across
Oh.
the fucking chow hall and had a fucking rage fit.
Chat Kitty meant a different thing back then. Also, I have a few more chats. I can't join. This is a guy from the UK. This is a guy from the UK, by the way. I can't join a monarchy armed force like in the UK. So this guy must have limitations. And then I have another guy who said, I tried to join, but I'm built like a walrus. Buddy, let me give you some advice, okay? Because let me tell you. And I only recommend this advice if you're over 18. Because only people over 18 should start doing a diet. But I started intermittent fasting, and I lost like 100 pounds in a year. And if you add exercise onto that, you can lose a lot more. But I only
Okay.
exercise every now and then. But
I
intermittent
got
fasting,
something.
what's another one you got?
I got something for that guy who said he's built like a fucking walrus. Okay, I'm not saying that's an excuse. I'm not saying
No.
that's an excuse at all. That's a completely good, reasonable reason. There's something that the army has that. Okay, I'm not a recruiter, but I'm just saying.
And I'm
If
also not
you
laughing
get
if you're diabetic.
fuck no, diabetic dude. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna
I
talk
have a
about later.
grandma who's diabetic who I had to take care of. We're not laughing at that, obviously.
No,
If that's what you meant.
diabetes is something that you're either born with or
Oh,
that
yeah.
you can get, which is both really bad to live
Oh
like
yeah, I'm
that.
at risk. I need to
It's
quit
really bad.
like eating sugary shit just because
The
I'm at
army
risk of
has what's
yeah. Go on.
called okay, so there's a legitimate term for it, like the actual name for it. We call it is called fat camp. And
Mhm.
you can go there. They
Yeah.
literally train you to. I had a guy who he somehow fucking missed fat camp. He went in at 320 pounds
Yeah.
and somehow missed fat camp. He didn't get signed on. And the army, so he went to normal ass basic training like any other 140-pound kid went, and he lost 100 pounds just
Yeah,
doing training. Fat
dude.
camp literally trains you so that you can lose weight.
That's
Chat.
I don't know about Marines, but that's an Army specific thing.
And Chad, that's what you
It sucks. It sucks. The Air Force doesn't offer things like that. If you don't, yeah, it sucks. Like the Air Force, like if you don't meet the qualifications, you have to basically just you can't join. You have to, go lose the weight yourself and then come back. So that does suck. But I think the reason why the Army does that sort of thing is because the foundation of the Army is bodies, right? People, the amount of people. That's not the case with the Air Force. The Army also obviously has a lot more personnel than the Air Force does. So the Air Force
There's
just
a
needs
zombie in the
people.
back corner, by the way.
The Air Force just needs people. Unlike not the Air Force, the Army the Army just needs people. The Air Force obviously needs people, but what makes the Air Force
Air Force looks for
is
intellectual folk. Army wants dumbasses.
the Army takes people, not so smart people, whatever they can get. The Air Force is not like that, and not even. Let's honestly steer away from like the body mass index type of subject. It's the Air Force also like the MEPS. Do y'all know what MEPS is?
could you explain it for my chat?
So the MEPS stands for Military Entrance Processing Station. And when you're talking with a recruiter, they'll tell you that I'm gonna set up a MEPS date for you. So that's where you go in. You're there all day, going through all sorts of stuff like hearing, vision, body mass index, taking blood
Okay,
tests.
my guy actually.
Samples.
I had a chatter just talk about the MEPS actually.
Yeah,
So
urine
he said,
samples and all this
fun
stuff.
fact.
And
He said, fun fact, you can't join any force if you're colorblind.
It's false.
Maybe he's talking about the UK side of things because this
If
is
it
my
is
UK
UK, I don't know
chatter.
about that, but for
I don't know. I
Army,
think
This is
Air
my
Force.
UK chatter.
I
To be
think
fair.
I don't think you can do it if you're Air Force.
Oh, absolutely, dude.
Um,
Air Force has to have like you have to be like
yeah, you do
a
take a
certain height,
colorblind
certain
test.
weight, all that stuff.
Anything that you can think of, like you for medical, like I said, blood samples, urine test, height, weight, body, vision test, whatever it is, anything that you can think of that you do checkups for, or anything like when you go to the emergency room or the urgent care, anything you can think of medically, that's they check everything. You're there all day, holding like a little folder of like a medical profile, and then
Yeah.
you go into line and they pull your medical records to make sure like you don't have a history of asthma and all this. But the thing,
Yeah, I
what I
have
was going to
asthma.
mention, what I was going to mention for at MEPS, the Air Force is the hardest to get in
Yeah.
qualification wise at MEPS. The Air Force
just
has the most strict MEPS rules for what you can and can't have.
just a little a little tidbit, just to kind of add into the whole MEPS process. That is where everyone gets scared as fuck at. The best advice I can give MEPS, to the best of my knowledge, that's all I gotta say. To the best of my
Yeah.
knowledge, because they'll have signs that say it's a federal crime to lie during MEPS. If you
Yep,
say
yep.
the best of your knowledge, you're
Yeah.
fine. And
Yeah, absolutely.
always say a white lie. If they don't ask you it, it never happened.
Yeah. They
That's
tell
how I'm
you like they'll tell you before so you do two. Well, Gunner did one because National Guard's different. Active duty,
there's a
because Gunner,
zombie
like National
twice, I
Guard,
think.
when you ship for basic, you go to you go to an armory, but active duty you ship out at like you go to MEPS twice and you ship out from the MEPS building, get on a bus to go to the airport. But like when you go to MEPS, you do your initial swearing. Like you go to all your medical stuff, and at the end of the day, you do a swearing. That the day after that, you'll just go home. And then later they'll either give you your job there and give you a ship date there, or a little bit like a couple months after your first MEPS, they'll get your recruiter will get with you and tell you, hey, we found a job for you. This is your ship date, whatever it is. But keep in mind, they tried to. The first MEPS is a scare tactic. You do
Yeah.
an initial swearing. That first swearing does not mean shit.
You can literally go to
Does
the
not
first swearing,
mean it's a
and then
swearing. You raise your right hand, and all that shit. The first swearing you do at MEPS, because after that you go home and all that and wait for. You are not owned by the government yet. Does not mean absolute shit. So say you go to your
No.
first MEPS and you're having second thoughts, you can just stop talking to your recruiter, and that's that. You don't have to
you
follow through
can
on your MEPS. But after when you go to MEPS the second time, the day you ship off and you do that second swearing, that's it.
I feel like that's a
I'll
good
And
thing
you're
to know
in.
for a lot of my chatters because I feel like a lot of them have anxiety joining the military and
a lot of
thinking that if
people
they join the military right off the bat, then they're just sworn into the military for 4 years. So I feel like
oh
that's a
no,
good
not
A
at
lot of
relief
all.
for
people have
them.
No.
anxiety. Like if they talk to your recruiter too much, they're in. No.
No, that's
You're
like
when
one of
you're
the
in
biggest
so
lies ever in your whole life.
when you do after your first day of MEPS, you get entered into a thing called the DEP program, which means delayed entry program. That's basically all that is just you waiting to get a job slot for you and a ship date. That's all it is.
Okay.
That is the biggest stressful time for your recruiter because they're stressing out because they know you can just back out at any moment. But
And I
the moment you go to MEPS the second time, the day when you ship off, that's when they're relieved because they know you're in.
Okay.
so
But yeah,
like
that
for
first MEPS day, if you go to MEPS first time, you're really like stressing out, thinking about it, and you think, well, when I want to do something, you're not locked in yet.
so like a lot of people like at least for me, when I signed the papers at my recruiter's office to go to Met, I thought I was already in.
Yeah.
Technically, all that's saying is that you are in their system. That's it.
Yeah.
It's no
Okay.
difference than texting a recruiter saying you're interested. When you go to
Okay.
Met for the first
Because
time,
you have
all
not
that
officially
is that
signed your
you're
contract yet.
correct. You honestly, you're just doing paperwork. It's like imagine it like this: when you go into a recruiter's office and you sign all this stupid paperwork, imagine you're putting in an application for a job. The next thing is the interview. The interview is your MEPS appointment. When you go to
Okay.
MEPS, your next thing you do is you do your first day, quote unquote first day. That's I'm using that really loosely. Your first day is your ship off date. That's when you're in. Now for me, because I'm National Guard, MEPS was my first day, meaning I didn't have a second MEPS date to go to. I sworn in one time, and then I was in. That was it.
Mm,
So
okay.
if you're active
active
duty,
duty,
you
you get
have
like
2
2 shots.
days. Yeah, you have
Yeah.
2 MEP dates. And
But the
Gotcha.
second
the
time you go to
first
MEPS,
one,
you don't have to do a whole nother medical examination. All you do with the second day MEPS, you go to you do the same thing. You go to you stay at the hotel the night before. It's free. They cover it, and then you wake up early. You get on a bus, go over. Some people are shipping off. Some people are going to MEPS for the first time. You just do nothing but sign your contract again, do another swearing, and then you just sit around at the MEPS building until the bus gets there for you to ship off.
That's good to know for a lot of my chat. Because I feel like that's what
also
a lot of people stress on.
another thing to think about too is that one thing I wish someone told me when I went is that this is a little bit funny. It's not, but it is. They do not stick a finger where it's not supposed to go.
Yeah, they don't do that.
They
A
don't
lot.
do that.
I don't know what. Maybe they used to do a long time ago,
They
but
used
they don't.
they
They
used
don't.
to
Yeah,
do that
probably
a
during
while ago.
Vietnam and stuff like that.
They used to do that. They don't do that anymore. That was one
That's
thing I
probably
was
the
scared
old way of
about.
checking. But yeah,
See,
they don't.
that's
They don't
another
do that.
thing. A lot of people see Vietnam era movies and think that the military is still the same, but
No,
it
the
is
military.
not.
No, the
You know
military is
how many
constantly changing.
roles, like between like when I started technical training and now, like
Every
how
president, the
many
military
roles
changes.
I left Shepherd and came to where I'm at now. Um, there's different rules, like rules changed, all that. While I was at Shepherd, things that like ways
I
to
got a
wear your
pistol
uniform.
gun right there.
There's like approved ways to wear a uniform and all that. Chain of command, like the people above you, some people left and people came back. Um, rules based off like what you can and can't do when you're in a training environment. Um, is in operational, which means like operational Air Force, which means just like how I am now, just every day, like work. Things change all the fucking time. Like I go to work every day, and I hear about some new Air Force instruction changing about like dress and appearance, like some different rule on dress and appearance is changing, or whatever. You know, rules are changing all the fucking time.
Yeah,
Last minute rules and shit. Yeah.
I think honestly every 2 years, not every 4 years. I think that they change that much.
All right, I'm back.
Now here's my question, because I've had this question. My chat hasn't had this question. This is just my question. If the general public or the United States popular vote something in for the military, would it apply or would it be the official presidential signing that would apply?
No. No. Okay,
Which would apply?
so the
So
general
like if
public
you're the
has
president,
no overall over the military. The
Okay.
president has
Because-
some control, but your primary the reasons for like laws and whatnot and like the military is based off of your garrison commander.
Okay.
So okay, so for the army, so we recently just changed this. So over at Fort Benning, Georgia, which is where I went for my AIT, they just now got rid of bay tossing, which was not ruled out by the president. It was ruled out by the, and that
Good
does
to
not
know.
apply for all military compounds. Now, the
Okay.
president does have say over certain things.
The
such as
president
who's
is-
allowed to
is the-
join.
The president is
Okay.
at our. Everyone in every job has a different chain of command, but up in the top, everyone has a different chain of command until the higher ups and the Department of Defense, all the way up to the president. Everyone has a different chain of command, like who's in charge of who, all the way up. Like I have a chain of
Okay.
command who's in charge of me, who's in charge of the person in charge of me, all the way up. And obviously, the president is at the very top of the chain of command of everyone in the military because the president, as everyone should know, is the commander in chief.
3 people at stairs.
Donald Trump is the ultimate head boss of me and everyone. in the
Okay, can you
military.
put that in better terms for my non-democratic audience who would rage at that?
So
I'm
basically
kidding. I'll have
the
my editor
president the
censor it.
president is just is head of the military because he's
Okay.
the commander in chief, and he's in charge of all the high generals of every branch, and then those high generals in charge of everyone below them, so on and so
Okay.
forth, all the way and down until me, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's just basically how it is. Like Donald Trump's my commander in chief. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna get into political side of views because I can't do that.
Okay. Yeah.
While
Oh
openly,
yeah, that's
while
another
while while
thing.
openly admitting that, like, say if I never mentioned that I was in the military in this chat, then yeah, I'm free to. But since I openly admitted it, hey, I'm in the Air Force, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna like get into political things with who, what.
We're
I
not
can't say whether or
supposed
not
to
I like Trump or
disregard.
I dislike Trump. I can't
Ooh.
disclose that information, anything political. Um. So yeah.
I can't even disclose anything politically as a Twitch streamer and as a YouTuber. Now that I have sponsors and am a part of the Twitch affiliate program, I cannot display my political
Affiliation.
affiliation.
The
But
one,
it
one,
just got
one thing a lot of military members have an issue with is, so we have a lot of rules we're not supposed to do. One of the rules is you're not supposed to talk about politics when it comes to any social environment.
okay.
And the reason why we're not supposed to do that is because of the fact that, one, no matter if you're in uniform or not, you do represent the United States as a whole.
Yeah.
And
That's
one
your-
thing
that's
I
your
will
Absolutely.
say,
branch.
That's
all
how I
that,
feel
yeah.
about it.
Because like especially when you're in uniform, because your uniform says U.S. Air Force, U.S. Army, and when because
Absolutely.
reason why I say especially in uniform because it says those like U.S. Army, U.S. Air Force, U.S. Army, because when you're in uniform, you represent like whoever you're for, so you're speaking when you're in uniform. When you say something, you're speaking for because you serve as like a what's the word? Um, got any
Representative?
representative?
essentially, you don't want
Yeah,
to. It's kind of hard to explain. What you don't. So the saying, "One person ruins it all for everybody else."
you're
Oh
represented as
yeah,
like
absolutely. I've had a person do that in my chat a couple times.
You can't sit there and, if you have an opinion about politics, the media will automatically assume that is the entire organization.
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely.
exactly.
And
Like say say I were to say like um
I can't tell
say
you
I
how
say
many
I love
times.
Donald Trump or
What
I
just
hate Donald.
happened?
Like say
I
say
don't
I were
know.
to
I
say
got fucking swapped.
say I love Donald Trump or I hate Donald Trump. Whatever the case might be. Now that I say
Yeah.
that, that's gonna since I'm representing the entirety of the Air
Chat,
Force,
these are examples.
they're gonna think that, oh, hey, I'm now this is what the Air Force represents. There's
Yeah,
the country's pretty evenly divided. Now that
absolutely.
half the country's gonna think bad of the Air Force, and that's not something you want as being the military because that's what the military is for the country, and you don't
You
want the military to pose like, oh, the military doesn't support half the country's population. You know what I mean?
in
So
the
that's
Yeah,
like
military,
when you see videos on TikTok of people like pressing military members of public about like some big social issue, and they're like saying, "I'm not talking about that," and the civilian is like saying,
well, you're in the Air Force, you're supposed to protect us. Why aren't you putting a word in for us? And they keep saying, I can't talk about this, or they just like get up and leave. That's the whole reason why. Because
Okay.
just to kind of tag on to that.
they obviously have their political views. I obviously have my political views, but you
Yeah,
can't say it
absolutely.
as a whole. And like, it's not something that civilians are walking away from because they're trying to avoid the social issue. They're not trying to be a dick to you. They're not trying to hate you or whatever it is. They might agree
Yeah.
with you actually, but they
Yeah,
doesn't matter the
absolutely.
doesn't matter the situation. They can't disclose whatever their side
Just
is.
just to kind of
100%.
tag on to that when it comes to like I forgot what I was gonna say, but basically, like kind of like people saying how like, oh, you're in the Air Force, like you're supposed to be protecting us. Kind of going back to the fact that like because you're in the military, a lot of people are like, especially because I'm infantry too. It's like, why are you over in that country? You don't need to be there. Send our troops back. Majority of the people want to be put somewhere not supposed to be, but they don't want to be home. If it comes
Yeah.
that's where they're supposed to go, whether they like it or not, they're gonna be there. And that's something in the
And
military
like,
you
and
have
you
to.
don't
I was
want
about
to
to
like
touch up on that.
give a word for the entire military because, like what he just said, you don't want to come home and half the country don't not like you. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
It's
So like
it's just the
like
fact
if you're in the
that
military, you want the people to like support you constantly,
There's a clash there.
no matter who the president is, or no matter what the social scenarios, well, no matter what like the current social protests are, like socially, whether it's about like religious or sexual rights, or what if it's about race, whatever the big social topics is politically, no matter what it is, you still want the public to be able to look at you as their people, like you support the public no matter what the social political scenario is.
Absolutely.
one
And
thing
that
you
kind of
also don't.
answers. I'm
So
sorry. Go ahead.
no, continue. You're good.
No, you go ahead, man.
I
You're
was
the
gonna
guest
say
here.
like the one thing that a lot of people have misconception of is that you're not allowed to post.
Okay.
Yeah, all these rules are
which
put in place to protect the Air Force and you as a service member alone.
all that pretty much answers my next question. From another chatter. Does serving in the military under different presidents change the military drastically? So let's say one year you served under Biden and then the next year you serve under Trump, which obviously I think Gunner has. I don't know if you have. Um,
Not me. No, I joined.
Gunner,
I
but
Trump was
does that
elected last November, so I've only been under him so far.
does that impact the military drastically?
Yeah.
It does.
Um,
Like, what would you
Yeah,
say
it's just
impacts
like
it?
whatever they
So
fund policies, whatever
so
the case might be.
so for me personally, what I've experienced being under two different presidents is um the pay. So
Okay.
your president. So like okay. So when I was under Biden's control, when I joined the military, was our pay was jack shit. Fucking founding was jack shit,
Okay.
and it was absolutely horrendous when it comes to ranks. Just the pay in general was fucking horrendous due
Gotcha.
to Trump enlisting the 14.5%. Junior enlisted is E1 to E4, right? We got a pay increase of 14.5%, while NCOs
Oh,
got a 5% increase, or it's 15, I guess you can say. So,
okay.
NCOs, which is non-commissioned officers, so that's sergeants, right?
Yeah.
They got a 5% increase in pay versus the junior enlisted got a 10% increase in pay. So because I was
Interesting.
under Joe Biden, I didn't get as much money as I whenever Trump got into office. I made more money when Trump got into the office. So because of the president, it does in fact infect the military as a whole due to
Which
whatever
obviously,
they do.
Because rank of because the
obviously,
whole
again,
funding
chat. We're
thing.
not supporting either side of the party. We're
No.
just stating the political differences that impact the military.
Yes, because it depends. If you had Billy Bob Joe as the president, right? Billy
Yeah.
Bob Joe, who said, okay, well, I want my soldiers to this country for some type of training and we'll give them a bonus pay, right?
Yeah,
Okay, that's great,
absolutely.
right? And the other president said, we'll call him Jane John, right? To say
Yeah.
Jane John said, well, I don't want them getting deployed at all, but let's add additional training or certain circumstances they have to pass.
Yeah.
There's pros and cons to whatever the presidents do.
Yeah, right.
When Trump
Absolutely.
got into the office, your junior enlisted and just the military in whole, they got a bit better of a paycheck out of it, which helps the families of the military, and it
It
helps
definitely
our,
helps
our
inspire.
Joes as well. It does inspire, yeah. And I'm not saying like Trump was a not Trump. I'm not saying Joe was a good or bad president at all when it comes to the
Yeah.
military. But when Trump got into office, he did increase the pay, which
Yeah.
affected the military in a whole.
All right. Well, I gotta head out of here. I got work I gotta get to tomorrow. So it's good talking to y'all. Hopefully,
Okay,
I
man.
answered some questions that y'all had. So,
All right.
alrighty. Well, y'all have a good night.
I put an invite to the Discord if you want to join it, man.
Is it in the chat?
It should be in general.
Oh, yeah, I got it. I joined it.
All right, man. All right. Thank you.
Alrighty. All right. See you guys.
All
Yeah.
right. See you, man.
But one thing I would like to say is that if you are considering joining the military, is do not look at it as a life altering event, meaning that's the last thing you're going to be doing for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Definitely something that's going to change your life for the better and not the worst, meaning you're going to learn how to appreciate the tiniest things, such as food, energy
Oh,
drink,
absolutely.
driving.
Yeah. We're about to
It's-
do an MRE tier list, so the food that
okay,
y'all
hold on.
eat is
Let
like
me just say, MREs, dude. Okay, if you ever try MRE, a fucking
give me the good ones,
oh, the good ones. Oh
so
my
I know what to order.
Okay, okay. I gotta put you on. All right, the best MREs that I like, me
Patrick, write
personally,
these down.
Southwest style.
Okay.
Meatballs. There's another one. I don't remember it.
It's probably the fucking chili mac and cheese because I
I've
hear that
actually
one a lot.
never had that one.
I hear that one all the time. The chili mac is a popular one I hear a lot.
I've never had that one, sadly.
Interesting. I also hear that one of the taco ones is really popular, but I don't know which one.
So, fun fact, we don't have tacos. We have what's called
Or probably fajita style or whatever it's called.
there is fajitas. There are
One of the
fajitas.
Mexican style ones.
Okay. Oh my dear lord. Okay, if you really love Mexican food but you really hate your stomach, Mexican bowl.
Okay.
Mexican bowl is one of the best ones. Southwest style is one of the best ones. One that I would not recommend is the cheese tortellini. That one
Okay.
sucks.
I've heard that one does kind
Ravioli
of smack
sucks.
ass.
Pizza slice is a hit and miss. It's only
Okay.
good because of the main course, which is the pizza slice.
I've
But
seen the
it
pizza
sucks.
slice looks
It-
like our old Bethel cafeteria pizza slice.
It's thicker. It's thicker and
Really?
more drier. Yes, it's thicker and drier, and you don't get as much side.
Okay.
That's what's ass about it. The pizza's good. It's just dry as fuck. I don't ever like it. My favorite one of all time is Italian. Italian sausage, I will trade for anything. The best one there is that they have is the Southwest style. Southwest style is the hands down best one I've ever had in my while being in service for the past 2 years.
Good to know. We'll keep that in mind for the MRE tier list.
Also the drinks that come with them.
Yeah, give me, because I hear that the orange citrus one is like the best,
Yes.
and the apple one is kind of mid.
Ooh, I haven't even heard of the apple. Orange one tastes good. Okay, a little tidbit for you. You want to have, if you want to know what it's like to be out in the field, you need to try a Ranger pouch.
Okay.
So Ranger pouch, a little DIY type for you is so in these MREs they have what's called a moist palate.
Yeah.
And what you do is so you use that to wipe your face off, right? But I've heard people use it with the moist, and they also used it with the sugar honey iced tea tickets.
Okay.
If you know the abbreviation, you know what I'm talking about. So what you do is you get coffee grounds. If you get coffee grounds in your MR, you're set. Set that up in the moist towelette or the sugar honey iced tea tickets,
Okay.
and you roll it up, and you basically make like a ZEN pouch,
All
and then
right.
you're set. That is what you get for your caffeine. Or you can do what's called Ranger Dip. Ranger Dip is when you just take the caffeine and you just burn your lip like dip.
Oh yeah, I do that with Rogue Energy sometimes.
Basically, you're making a grind is all it is. Grind
Yeah.
energy pouches.
So another person in my chat, have you ever gotten the Vomlet, aka the omelet, and what was it? I just Google it. It was nicknamed the Vomlet MRE, which is the nickname given to the cheese and veggie omelet MRE due to it being
No.
unappetizing. You haven't been gifted a Vomlet?
No. Sadly,
Okay, chat.
gratefully, no.
We'll keep in mind Vomlet, the Southwestern style, the chili mac and cheese, and we need a fourth one to review, honestly, just to make it an all around even video. What's another one that you? Because I want two that are disgusting and two that are pretty decent.
Okay, if you want two that are really disgusting, I got you. Cheese tortellini.
Oh, I've heard the cheese tortellini is atrocious.
Oh my god, it's so bad, dude. I remember I was so back in basic training over at Fort Benning, Georgia. So during sick call, so sick call, you have to be
Okay.
up by 3:30 in the morning.
All
and
right.
you have to be down at the CQ office by 0400 to check in
Okay.
for being on the list to go to sick call.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And a sick call, if you're going to sick call, you get, and that's your breakfast for until lunch. If you
Okay.
get back in time for lunch, if you don't, you get another MR. And there's one night, or I guess one morning, I woke up via cramp in my calf.
Okay.
Any veterans out there that do watch this, that went to basic training, talking and I woke up pissed as fuck because of the cramp, and then I'm lagging really bad. I picked up you don't have any pick over what MRE you get, and I got cheese. I was so fucking pissed. First of all, the cheese tortellini. Okay, so within every MRE.
Here, let me pull it up for chat while you explain it.
So with every MRE, you get a heat packet. Your
Yeah.
heat packet warms up your food. So how it works is that there's chemicals in it, like think of it like salt rocks, essentially, right? That's what they look like. They're black. It's a chemical little chemistry class for you. You pour water into it, and what happens is it does a chemical reaction to the point where it starts heating up. And that's what heats your food. It starts steaming. And with that information, you can heat up anything. And it's really good to use while you're in the field. And no matter how hot you get that fucking bag to get, your cheese tortellini still tastes cold as fuck and really fucking disgusting.
So if you don't know, chat, cheese tortellini was an MRE invented as a vegetarian option.
Yeah, it's fucking
And
dog shit.
if you don't know how vegetarian options normally go in the United States, they're pretty dog shit. So imagine an MRE that we have to feed to our soldiers as a fully vegetarian option, which none of our soldiers really give a shit about, let's be honest, because if you're serving for our country, you don't give a fuck if the meal you're eating is vegetarian, meat based, whatever. You just care if it's hot, if it's good. Like I
Oh,
often hear that there's another one that I hear a lot that's common, but I can't remember what the fuck it's called.
another thing to do, which I would highly suggest,
Okay.
if you get any MRE, you will get one of two crackers if it is in it. Which majority of the time you're gonna get crackers.
I've seen the two
So,
crackers.
so you have normal crackers, which are dry as fuck,
Yeah.
that give you cotton mouth, or you get the delicious, the most flavorable cracker you've ever had in your life, vegetarian crackers.
Can you
Those
explain to
are
my
the
chat which one is better?
vegetarian crackers. Those are
Okay.
the best. They have the most calories in them, and they taste the best.
Is that the
And
bread shaped ones or is that the regular ones?
so you said bread shaped.
Yeah, they have a cracker that's like shaped like a piece of bread, and then they have the regular saltine cracker shape.
So
At least from
with
what I've seen.
with the MREs, right? So with the crackers, you have your normal white crackers, right?
Yeah.
They're not name brand crackers. They are
Okay.
nasty as fuck. They're dry as fuck. They have no fucking flavor and barely any.
Yeah. Because
Your vegetarian crackers
they
are
have
a
to
bit
preserve for
thicker.
a long time.
Oh yeah, the vegetarian crackers are a bit thicker and have more flavor to the fact that they have vegetarian things on them, such as they have a hint of plant
Okay.
seasoning on them, if that makes sense. And they're a lot
Yeah, that
thicker.
it's like the Ritz
And
Garden crackers, which have
yeah,
like a
they're
little bit more veggies on them.
oh my god, because you mentioned fancy shit. Um in any Italian MRE you get, you're gonna get what's called Italian breadstick.
Bread what? I'm sorry, you cut out.
Italian breadsticks.
Okay, Italian breadsticks.
And these breadsticks are heaven. If you do not like them, I highly recommend creating them that hates it.
Okay.
9 times out of 10, someone who hates M&Ms will. Anybody who hates breadsticks will. Easy ass trade.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, In case you guys didn't know, you do get candy, depending which one you get.
Yeah, you get candy sometimes, Chad. I've seen plenty of candy in
Oh my god,
MREs.
I remember my fucking favorite one.
What's your
Oh my
favorite
god.
MRE? Tell my chat right now.
Oh my god, my
They
favorite MRE.
they're curious.
Chicken and noodles.
Chicken and noodles. Oh my god, that's a pretty popular one.
Okay, so in that one,
Oh my god.
you are guaranteed one of two things for you're guaranteed candy in the MREs. You were either guaranteed
Okay.
chocolate M&Ms or Skittles
Okay.
with Tabasco sauce.
Mm,
Okay,
that would
Tabasco
hit.
sauce, everyone trades during basic training because
Oh,
fucking weird.
absolutely. Because one thing you got to realize, chat, when you are in the active field, there is not very much seasoning and there is not very much flavor going around. So having any
Oh
kind
yeah.
of sauce and having any kind of seasoning and any kind of gum, or not gum. What
Yes,
would be the
gum.
other thing?
Gum.
Would it
Yeah.
be gum? Okay,
Yeah.
gum.
So there's two types of gums you get in your MRE. Now,
You get bubble
primarily
gum
at
and
the
you get mint
time,
gum, right?
no, actually no.
Really?
So
I
you
must be
get
getting false advertisements.
you get mint gum and you get cinnamon.
Oh, I've heard bubble gum a lot, so that's actually interesting.
So what's happening is they're doing a lot of new branding for their MREs. So
Okay.
the MREs are going from the classic fully coated brown bags to the clear bag. And what you're gonna get a lot more meal options and a lot more um options for gums. So there's probably isn't a bubble. I've
Okay.
never had bubble found it. I'm not doubting that it is there,
This was
but
like 2-3 years ago.
I have never. But I know. Okay. Also, when you open up your MRE, you're gonna find one of two gums:
Okay.
spearmint and
Okay.
um,
Ozark.
cinnamon. They are
Okay.
wrapped in this. The cinnamon is wrapped in red pack. The
I see
spearmint
Orbit a
is
lot too.
orbital. I've never seen that
I've
before,
seen
to my
Orbit a
knowledge,
couple times because it's so cheap to produce.
which could be true. I haven't. It's weird. Oh my god. Captain's roaming? That's odd. Um, I'm trying to think of something else that's good. Okay,
I have
here.
another chatter if you're ready.
Yeah,
By the way. But continue whatever question you're on currently.
I was gonna say if you get cheese tortellini, you're a coconut energy bar.
Coconut energy bar. See, a lot of people are not liking coconut lately, so
It's
kind of
gas.
curious about that. Yeah, I
Oh,
love
oh, oh,
coconut. I
oh.
love an almond joy.
You're also gonna get it tastes like an almond joy
Okay.
mixed with Snicker bar. But what you're also gonna get in it
Oh,
is
that
also
sounds like
you're also gonna
gas.
get the Swiss cheese roll.
A
You're gonna
Swiss
get that as
cheese
well.
roll. I don't know what that is actually. Let me Google that real quick.
So you're gonna get a Swiss.
Don't
Okay, so the military
don't tell me
they
what it
get
is. Let me Google it.
the military names their things differently from the name brand of products. So
Don't worry, I'm going to Google MRE edition.
in your MREs, we
Cheese Swiss
have
roll bread.
hot pockets, but instead of hot pockets, not hot
Yeah, I
pockets,
see
we
that.
have Pop Tarts. Instead of Pop Tarts, it's called.
Yeah, I see it. I see it right here actually. Right here.
Something different.
Okay, I see it. I like that.
It's called
That
a
looks kind of good.
chocolate tart, I think is what it's called, or something like that.
Yeah, right here.
But
There it is. That's what it is, chat. Keep in mind that was like an actual baker's perception of it, not the MRE perception, but you got a general idea of what it looks like.
those are really good. We also have Rice Krispies, which
Oh,
are not Rice Krispies. They are, but they're not.
okay.
They're called differently.
Okay.
They're
What are they called?
I gotta look it up because
I'll Google it for my chat real quick so you don't have to. Rice Krispie. Okay, Rice Krispie is one of those things that I didn't start liking until high school.
it's called a recovery bar salted crisp. That's what it's called. Recovery bar salt caramel marshmallow
Yeah, I see
crisp,
it right here on Amazon.
aka Rice Krispie treat.
Yeah.
Uh, the
Good. Just despawned.
So the Rice Krispies treat is called a pastry frosted brown sugar.
Yeah,
That is what it's called.
one.
If you see pastry, just automatically think it's fucking Pop Tart. That's what it's gonna
Yeah,
be.
I literally saw Dollars. Which lucky chat, I love Pop Tarts and I love Dollar General Pop Tarts. So do you think I'd love the Rice Krispie caramel treat?
What was that text that your chat said earlier?
Okay, so I'm gonna abroad this statement because you pretty much answered it earlier. But he said apparently some of the powdered drink mix are not the worst. What do you think is the best powdered drink mix you have had besides the orange citrus?
Blue. Or not blue. It's grape, but the powder's blue.
Okay, so it's like blue grape.
Yeah, so it's
And
grape
he-
electrolyte powder, but it's blue.
here's my second question. Did you have any caffeine drink powder mixes in your MRE?
Yep. So we had coffee. That was it. It's just purely
Okay.
coffee, but it's the best coffee you'll ever have in your life
No
because
creamer.
no, it has creamery.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so you have the black coffee grounds, and then
Okay.
in it, if you're lucky enough, you'll have creamer and
All right.
sugar, and
Oh, okay.
it literally tastes like um I don't know what drink it's called. Is it's really sweet. It's
It's probably
like
cappuccino
yeah, it kind of tastes like a cappuccino.
or
It's like a
oh,
people say like oh double scoop of vanilla.
yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
kind
I
of
know.
it's
I
kind of
know
like
what you're
that.
talking about.
It's really good. And honestly, I used
I
to
worked at a
so
Burger King for a minute, so
I got really religious during basic training. Everyone typically,
oh, that's interesting.
and
Okay.
I um I got really addicted to hiding contraband. My
What
contraband could
religion?
Baptist.
Real quick. Okay. Okay.
So during training, if you if anyone plans on going into the military and you want to go to religious services, or if you're already religious and you're religious services, every Sunday
All
the
right.
military is required to serve for every religion that you can possibly think of.
Okay.
If
That's
they
pretty
have
cool. I like that.
they have paganism services, they
Okay.
have Mormon,
Okay.
they have um they call it differently, but
They have
Baptist in the
Hinduism.
military. Yes, they do have Hinduism.
Okay.
Baptist in the military is called Protestant,
Okay.
and then they have Catholic services. They don't call
All
it
right.
Catholic though; they call it something different. But
Or, okay. Chat, you'll have to
time,
Google that one.
every time I went to my church service that I selected, I would always hide my coffee grounds into my canteen, and I'd make my coffee
Really?
there. So I
That's
have my
only a
morning
thing for
coffee at church.
Mormonism. Why'd you hide your coffee?
You're not supposed to have coffee. It's contraband.
Really?
So yeah, so everything you have MR, you have to eat it in that time frame. You cannot
Are you
bring it to anything
serious?
else. Yep.
That's a misconception.
Yeah. So contraband is food. Contraband
Yeah.
is electronic devices or anything
Okay.
attached to electronic devices. Contraband is anything that you during reception.
That's actually interesting because every YouTuber who does an MRE or does some sort of military S challenge, they make it seem like you can just keep any item in the MRE for later trade. Which
So
now that I
during
feel like my chat is aware of that, they will realize, okay, we can't do that unless we like sneaking it like it's prison.
yeah, so basically, so those rules when it comes to that only applies when you're in basic training or
Okay.
so so a little fun fact. If you're in a combat MO near an army, BCT. If you're not in a combat MOS, it's BMT.
Okay.
So basic combat training and basic military training, same thing. Your training's a little bit different though. But yeah, so while I was in basic combat training, yeah, you could not keep shit. And it was insanely like prison. Everyone had,
Okay.
you'd make hella money trying to get contraband back to the barracks and hiding it. You had your peanut butter dealers, you had your muffin dealers, you had MRE dealers. People would, oh, we also get protein shakes too in our MREs.
Okay.
Depending which one you get, you do get a protein shake. Hazelnut
All
is
right.
a no. Hazelnut tastes like the smell of a pork patty.
Okay, I low key fuck with hazelnut IRL, but I feel like in an MRE, I would want nothing but black coffee
No.
and sugar.
Nope, 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 nope. If you see hazelnut peanut, not hazelnut, if you see hazelnut protein powder, strictly fucking burn it. Throw it in the fucking trash.
Yeah,
It's awful. Oh, also fun fact. We also have chocolate protein powder. If you put
I've seen that.
a little bit of water in it, you stir it around, you have chocolate pudding.
Okay, chat, remember that. Write that down. Write that down.
Yeah, just a little tidbit to kind of experiment with food. You fucking get a little bit
A
of
little
water
bit
in
of
it,
water.
like kind of
Okay,
like a shot of water. You can make
that's a question I've always
pudding.
had. Real quick, before you go on about the pudding.
Yeah,
Because every MRE video, I always just say, well, you just got to add boiling water. How much water do you get per MRE?
fun fact: you get zero water in your
Really? Okay, so how do you get
you
water for that?
from your canteen or your hydration source,
Oh,
which is your Camelback.
okay, that's good to know. That's good to know. So, chat, remember that when you're in a military or an active service, you do not just get like a bottle of water to throw in your MRE. It is going to be your Camelback and it is going to be your canteen. Obviously, this is only for United States based. This is not for European or anything else. This is just United States based.
Kind of
But continue.
imagine it like this. So in your MREs, also a little fun fact about the MREs. MREs are supposed to have 15 calories per MRE.
1500? I'm sorry, you cut out a
1500
little
calories.
bit. Okay.
Yeah. And they have one meal will last you basically the entire day. You will get
Whoops,
full
that's
off
my
of
bad.
one MRE. And you might not think you will, but you're gonna get pretty full off of just one.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize how condensed they are.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, you'll fucking open up a foot long bag and or like I think the bag's like 10 inches long. And you have like a main course and like 3 to 4 sides with a shit ton of like other shit in it, like a drink package, whatever. And you're gonna have um all ranges of meals. You're gonna have Mexican, American, Italian,
Yeah, absolutely.
seafood. Uh, you're gonna
Oh,
have a
I don't
lot
know
of
if a
food.
seafood MRE would be good.
Ooh, you'd be wrong. Seafood MREs are pretty. They
Really?
do.
What seafood ones are good though? That's the real question.
I've only came across one.
Okay, well, what one's that? So my chat knows in case if they're in the military.
So your seafood. Okay, so I'm using seafood very loosely.
Okay.
Fucking straight up fish. and
Any form of fish.
it's a 50-50. No, not just any kind of fish. It's a 50-50. So the
Okay.
MRE is titled chicken and tuna.
Okay.
You're either
I
gonna
would
get
consider
chicken
tuna
or you're gonna get
seafood.
tuna. Yeah, it's very loosely
I'm gonna take a
seafood.
piss real quick, but you can keep talking to my chat
Okay.
about this
Another
MRE.
another thing about this MRE. Okay, another thing to also like know while you are accessing MREs, the thicker it is means the more sides you're gonna get out of it. So you're either gonna get a range of breadsticks, you can get PBJs in it, which are really good. They have all different types of peanut butter. You can get, which I'll probably mention it whenever you get. Well, you watch the recording or however this like chat stuff works. You get like chunky peanut butter. You also get chocolate peanut butter, which is basically just Nutella in your MRE, and that stuff is really good to put on your bread, and it's really high in protein and calories.
Sorry about that. I was removed. That's unfortunate, and I hate that. How do I join back? Civil?
Yep.
How do I join back? Into the lobby. Why'd it kick me out?
No. You could probably rejoin.
I don't know how to do that. Ooh. I hate that. Like literally 3 seconds of using the bathroom, and now all of a sudden I've got to fucking rejoin. I might have to get your Ubisoft Connect. What is your Ubisoft? You want to put it in
Rekid
general?
35.
You can 75?
Rekid 35. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Capital R, capital K.
Oh
I'll
well,
leave the match real quick.
this looks like you. Did I invite you?
Leave real quick. I got an invite. Accept. Oh, so I told the chat earlier. So in the MREs, you actually get like variants, like peanut butter for
Running it
PBJs. You
later.
get in
I
some
was
of
able to
the.
hear it.
Oh, were you?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I was able to hear it. But yeah, I've seen the chocolate peanut butter and jellies compared to the regular peanut butter and jellies. And I'm not gonna lie, I'd rather have the chocolate any day of the week.
Oh, another thing during basic training. I don't know
I
about if it's
promoted you to
about
leader, by the way.
any other branch, but so my sister's currently in the Air Force. Um,
Uh-huh.
she's in she's in the training part of it right now. She's mentioned this
Okay.
they have peanut butter packets. I have a really funny story about those.
Okay.
So I used to be known as peanut butter bandit. So
Uh-huh.
what I would do is, so luckily I joined, and at the point where my OSIT training was held in December. So those who do not know, in the Army and basically any other branch too, just the military in general, we have what's called PT. PTs is physical training, or I guess you could say like PFUs. So our PFUs are physical fitness uniforms, just physical training uniforms. And we have winners, which are they consist of they're basically windbreaker pants and windbreaker jackets. And in these
Yeah.
uniforms, we have zippers on them. So I used to stuff a handful of peanut butter in my pocket, take them back to my bay, throw them in
Mhm.
the locker, and on Sundays I would eat all of them while I worked out. I'd do push-ups, 2-minute planks. I'd bench, 150,
Yeah.
do 20 sets of 10 with 150 pounds on the bench, and that was it. That's how I went from 160 pounds during 6 months of my training. I gained like 40, 45 pounds just doing, or not 45 pounds, like 30, 35 pounds.
Damn.
And there's one day um, I was at church and I came back to the bay, and my buddy goes, "Hey, mouse guy in your locker." And so so in the Army we have which is your house mouse, someone who's in charge of cleaning. And
Yeah.
I was like, "Where the fuck did Sam get my locker?" And he's like, "No, a mouse guy in your locker." I was like, "Okay, dumbass. I know you said mouse guy in my locker. Where the fuck did he get my locker?" No, 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 a mouse guy in your locker. And I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, a mouse fucked up." Like, why the fuck did Sam mess up my locker? Eventually, I found out an actual mouse was, and there was paper everywhere. Everyone knew you don't
Yeah.
fuck with my peanut butter. So I got pissed. I was like
Okay.
yelling, like, "Who the fuck took peanut? Fuck you up, touch my skin. Whoever I find out who fucked up my peanut butter, I'm, gonna do some harmful things." And
Okay.
uh, I found the culprit. It was a 3-inch mouse that was hiding in my
Hmm.
locker, and I stomped on it.
Oh.
And that happened a few times. I've killed
Okay.
like 2 mouses that were in my locker.
Hey, editor, throw up a warning real quick.
So
I obviously don't mind you describing your military detail, but I know some people get offended by that bullshit, and I have to put up warnings just to get revenue on this video. So if I ever say that, don't be discriminated against anything. I'm just saying, hey, editor, throw up this thing so that we can get revenue on this video.
oh, right,
Okay.
right, right.
But
I just
yeah.
got obliterated in the corner by 3 shield mains.
Jesus.
Blitz, Montaigne, and Blackbeard just raided me.
Get shit on Blitz. I don't know if that was actually Blitz. I think it was.
There's one more. Montaigne. Oh, that was depressing to watch.
Chat, you got any more questions? Now that we've been recording for 7 hours. Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh, another thing. Since Connor left, he went to bed because he has 600 wake up time.
Yeah.
If you are looking at joining the military and you want to live Hua, and you decide to go, or actually, no, if you just want to join the military, you want to go who? Do not go Air Force, do not go Navy, and do not go Space Force or Coast Guard.
Okay.
Go Army or go Marines. If you want special forceman treatment and you want to look like a tough guy, go Marines. If you want to have opportunities for school, go Army. Army has a lot more training opportunities.
Your mic's kind of cutting out a little bit, but
I might cut out.
a little. Your mic's kind of cutting out a little bit,
I'll turn up my
just a little
gain.
bit.
You can probably hear me a lot better right now.
Okay.
If you want to look cool and you want to look Hua, go
Okay.
Marines. If you want to
Okay.
have a lot more bling and be able to have a lot more abilities in your training, go Army. If you
Okay.
do not want to go Hua, Army or Marines. So essentially, what I'm trying to say is the Marines, you have
They're
guys have
shield rushing, by the way.
sniper.
They're shield rushing hardcore.
Oh yeah. The Marines. So if you're strictly going to go um infantry, if you're strictly wanting to go infantry and you do not want to go special forces, you don't want to be Delta, you don't want to be a fucking Marine Raider. You want to look cool without having to go through extensive washout training. Go Marines. The
Okay.
Marines have access to dual nods, which are night ocular devices, NVGs, night vision goggles. The Army infantry only has access to single nods, which is one eye
Okay.
nods or uni nods. And you don't have as much high tech gear. In the Marines, most of your units will allow what's called high cuts. You have a lot more up to date gear. You have
Okay.
high cuts, modernized IOTVs, modernized pouches, modernized weaponry. You have new SIGs, you have new optics, you have, AUGs, instead of OCCs. You have a lot more gear that special forces have that you can obtain while just being normal infantry. As an army, you're still stuck with the, depending on your unit, normal ass ACHs, boring IOTVs. You can't upgrade your
Yeah.
kit to anything. You can't do any. I can't do anything with my uniform, my kit.
Okay.
But with
Interesting.
Army, you can go to a lot of unique schools. You can go to Jungle School, you can go to Air Assault School, you can go to Pathfinder, the Airborne, TLI, Rangers, RASP, Mountain School, Diver School, Jump School. It's a lot of schools
Which
you can go to.
this question kind of links to that previous statement. I have a chatter. I do wonder, has he called out stolen valor on anyone or the
Me?
lore? Yeah.
Have I called out anyone being stolen valor?
Yeah.
Yes, I have.
Okay.
I've called out. So you have a lot of people in the military who, okay, I shouldn't say military as a whole. I should say a lot of people
Yeah.
are in JROTC who wear a uniform they get from high school,
Okay. Or Goodwill. I've seen a lot of uniforms in Goodwill. Did I disconnect? Hello?
So,
Yeah. Sorry, I thought I disconnected. Didn't you?
oh no, I was focusing. I got
Fucking.
like 2 kills from these guys.
I'm not even paying attention anymore. I'm focusing more on podcast questions, honestly. I'm probably going to turn this into a podcast episode.
There was one guy I went to training with. He flushed out of the program, and he put on his profile mentioned a while ago. 11 Bravo, still active Army, and all that. I called him out on it multiple times that he should not
Mm,
say that he is still active, not.
mm.
And
Yeah.
he's abused the system to get benefits such as deals on phones, free food. He's worn his uniform out in public. He's flexed that he did something that he, such as airborne. There's a lot of stuff that he's done that's really pissed a lot of people that you shouldn't do, which I can't legally go into detail.
Absolutely. And my chat fully
But
understands that.
there's a lot of um, there's a lot of people that um, go into the military just to graduate basic and then leave, and they use that to say that they are a veteran. If you go to basic training and you flush out, wash out, you are not a veteran in the slightest. You are nothing at all.
Absolutely.
You shouldn't go around flexing around your 1-star patch. You shouldn't go flexing around. You shouldn't even go around and say that you are a member of the United States Army. Get basic training. Now,
Yeah.
do I respect you for even going in? Yes, I 100% respect you for doing that. It's something that
Yeah.
you went in
You
knowing.
attempted.
Yeah, I give respect to that. It takes mad respect to actually go in. But I lose all respect if you flex the fact that you were in the military and then pass and then try to get benefits from being a quote unquote veteran when you weren't.
Yeah. I can't respect that.
And a lot of people that don't realize is that if you are ROTC, or not ROTC, JROTC, or actually, you know what? Fuck it, ROTC. If you say you're an ROTC and JROTC and you're wearing your uniform outside of duty hours, trying to get benefits,
Yeah.
you are still invalid. Unless you are unless you are in ROTC and you were enlisted prior before going ROTC,
Mhm.
like I'm not gonna call you still invalid, but I'm gonna call you a shitbag for using your uniform for
Yeah.
personal benefit. I have never once gone into a store in uniform and demanded a thank you for your service or demanded a
Absolutely
discount.
not. I feel like the people who go in store in uniform usually are people who don't have time to change out of their uniform. And I can respect that more. But there's also a lot of people who just, abuse the uniform or go to Goodwill and buy a uniform just to get that
Or
respect.
they wear
Or,
their brothers or relatives
yeah,
that were in the military. Like it's not if you have a family member that's in service, you can brag about them. You have full rights to that. But the second you start saying that you deserve some type of credit for them, saying like you deserve some type of respect for being a dependent, coming as a dependent from my father serving for nearly 30 years, if you're sitting
yeah,
there saying like, oh, my my brother was in the military, so you should give me some respect since I had to suffer through that. No, like
No,
no,
absolutely not.
like I've
The
seen
only
people who've done that,
people who
and
deserve
it's like
some respect are the
the
wife.
wives. Yeah,
Yeah,
the wives have more. They should get respect. Being with someone that's not you know having a lover that's not there all you should respect them
absolutely.
for staying with that person and being strong. But if you're like me, I was an army brat, so
Okay.
I got a lot of apologies having to deal with that, and it's like, no, did I need apologies? No, dude, I was my dad was already in. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know my dad growing. Do I
Yeah.
expect people to sit there and say thank you for your sacrifice? What did I sacrifice? You know. Also, another tidbit. You know. Okay, just to give a little insight. We appreciate you. Thank you for your service. But
Absolutely.
a lot of people who are in service do not know how to react when you say thank you, especially if they
Okay.
haven't gotten deployed.
That was my next question for you. Do you take thank you for your service as embarrassing or as an honor?
I take it as both.
Okay.
I find it extremely take it like this. When someone says thank you for your service, it's kind of like when um it's like someone saying like, "Hey, yo, good job in the game that day," or you did really good today. It's kind of like that feeling. You feel appreciated.
Yeah.
But when you're fresh out and you're a boot,
Uh-huh.
you don't feel like you deserve it.
Uh, yeah, okay. Oh, sorry. I can see that.
Like for me, I came home from AIT during HBL, and a lot of people at the airport said thank you for your service. They gave me gift cards for Starbucks. A lot of people,
Really?
tried offering me their flights because I had no room in my seat. I had a seat, but because it was a window seat, were in my way, and they said, "Hey, you can take my seat." Don't you know? Don't sit there and we appreciate the offers and we appreciate the appreciation. We don't expect it though. We don't just because we serve. We don't want you to sit there and kiss our boots.
Yeah.
And a lot of military members want that. They want you to kiss their boots.
Yeah, I feel like I
Not
know.
there's not okay, I should rephrase that. There's a lot of people who like that. And then there's
I
the
know at least one
honorable
person like
people
that.
who don't want that. I'm not speaking for the entire military, but
Yeah,
my
absolutely.
experience, I know people that sit there and love it when they just get glazed. Just back to back appreciation. I don't like being appreciated for
That's how
meaning
I
I
feel.
I don't want people to walk up to me and say, "Hey, I'll pay for your meal. Hey, I'll do this for." No, because you're only doing that to me because I'm if I wasn't in uniform, you would not treat me the same.
Absolutely.
And that's something that a lot of people don't understand not being military is that second you put that uniform, you're a completely different person. It's almost as if you're a celebrity, and that's something the military members should not be treated as, let alone they shouldn't so much have that expectation to treat it at. I'm not saying don't go around. I'm not saying go around and just disrespect the fuck out of veterans. No, no. Respect your veterans, but don't put them in situations where you want them to constantly give you attention. Like, if you say thank you for your service and you noticeably see that I'm busy trying to get out of a grocery store, don't stop me and say like try to hold a conversation and then like say, oh, he was really mean. Try to rush. No, it's because do my stuff. I'm gonna say thank you in the nicest way I can without saying why the hell are you saying this? You know.
Now, there's two kinds of thank you for the service I've learned. There's the thank you for the service, and it's usually for a veteran discount. And then there's a thank you for the service just out of the blue when they suddenly learn you're military. What's your opinion on that?
So for the veterans like discount, right? The only times I will ever ask for veteran discount is if I'm at a place I know that's expensive.
Yeah.
Now, the people that say thank you for whenever they have the discounts. Um where is this guy?
I don't know where this guy's at. It's to our left.
They're on me. Oh, that was a pretty clean kill. I'm
Oh,
not gonna
there's
lie.
no way this bro just survived. He's a little above a half health. The ace in the bathroom.
Yeah. I don't know. I appreciate people say thank you for your service because I did do something that majority of people don't do. So in case you guys
Yeah.
didn't know, the United States military is 1.5% of the population of the United States.
Hmm.
No, no, not 1.5. It's 0.5% of the United States. So if you were to see someone in uniform, I'm not saying go out of your way to say, you know, thank you for your service. I'm saying like just know that they're human beings too, and they're doing something that not everyone wants to do.
Absolutely.
Now, a lot of your military members or they join the military for multiple reasons. For me, I joined the military based off of the fact that my entire family has been in the military, and it's kind of like a family business, you could say. It's kind of like a tradition,
Yeah.
but also because I graduated high school with point not much organizations want to hire low SAT and low GPA.
Mm. Yeah, absolutely.
So military was the only thing I could think of. Okay, well that doesn't take up technology intellect knowledge. Well,
Mhm.
I'm physically fit. Maybe I should try doing something that's, physical. And the first thing that came to mind was infantry. So, you know, saw a couple Hua videos on TikTok. Like, yeah, you don't have to be, super smart to shoot a gun.
Yeah.
And so that's why I joined the infantry was because of that. And I'm not saying if you're not the smartest, if you're not the brightest bulb in the room, don't automatically think military, but if you want to be something greater, if you want to serve someone, if you want to serve like if you want to do something better not just for yourself, but for a better
There's a
and bigger
cav roaming
community,
upstairs.
I would definitely suggest the military.
Are soldiers told about all the business benefits and other things before, besides store discounts?
Is the what?
Okay. Are the soldiers told about all benefits and other things besides just store discounts?
Nope.
No.
No, actually,
Okay.
we're not. We're actually told. It's kind of like you get told more and more things the longer you're in.
Okay.
So when you are joining, you do get told like the main things, the quote unquote free healthcare. You get told that. The
Mhm.
quote unquote military discount. You
Mhm.
get told that.
Yeah.
That's the main things you're told. And the retirement, which you only get retirement for 20 years, meaning you have to be in the military for 20 years to get access to all of your retirement benefits. And just because you reach 20 years, that doesn't mean you get the full glory of the retirement. Meaning
Yeah.
there's a percentile. If you are 100% retired from the military, you get 100% of the discounts, which is you get all the pay, you get everything. If you do 4 years military service, you're not going to get the same as somebody who did.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's a pension. That's all it is. It's just a pension.
Yeah.
And that's something that a lot of people don't understand is that they just want to do their 4 years and get out. If you're just going to do your 4 years and get out, first place, you know, did you go in there for college? If so, you could have done something different. You didn't have to join the military for benefit.
Absolutely.
Did you decide to do a 4 year just so you have that as a resume? If so, you could have done something different for 4 years. The military is not something you do for 4 years and call it quits.
Got a roaming
There's a
cav again.
lot of there's a lot of things that go into while you're serving. And a lot of people just do 4 years cushion because it's a temporary lifestyle you have. And if you like it, you can do nothing. Or no, you can do another contract. You can kind of just say, yeah, I was in the military for 4 years. You're good. You know?
Yeah. Absolutely.
But a lot of people have the tendency to join strictly for the benefit. Now, for me, that was because of the fact I knew what I would get. That's why I joined.
Lock in. Here we go, chat. Lock in. Here we go. What are you doing? Okay, they're right there, apparently. Got their bitch ass. 6 HP in a dream. Out in this room, we can plant here.
Cade, he's crowd.
And that's what happened.
I need to drink more.
I need to drink some water, honestly.
Is there any other
And
questions?
I'm not
from
gonna
the
lie, this chat. This is probably the last stream. Last stream. The last round. I'm not gonna lie, because we've been streaming for nearly 7 hours and 30 minutes. It's nearly 3:30 in the morning, and I'm fucking hammered.
Oh, one other thing I should add on.
Here we go. What you got?
For the United States, if you were to look into join the military, look into every single MOS that sounds interesting to you.
Yeah.
By what your ASVAB score is. You can look online the GT score and your normal scores. So for Air Force, my sister made an ASVAB score where in the Air Force she was only able to pick between 7 MOS versus the Army with the same ASVAB score was able to 50 different jobs. So
I see.
all branches are different on their MOS qualifications for